Etihad Stadium. The roof is closed, the Bombers are in the house, the Saints have got the home game and they reckon they can win, and we're joined by James Hurd. You must be loving this. There's a lot of support from a lot of Essendon supporters here, mate.
Yeah, look, Essendon support has been fantastic so far this year, and really got behind the club in a time of need. But now it's game time, and we switch on to how we want to play, trying to coach these boys who are doing so well at the moment.
Now, last week was difficult for me to say so, Hurd. It was one of the best wins I think I've ever seen as well. But for those boys to come out here again today, back that up emotionally. Do you have to get to them during the week about that?
Look, not really. I mean, they're professional footballers, and that's what they do. Obviously, last week was fairly emotional, but they're playing some really good style of football and standard of football at the moment, and we just want to keep playing the same way. And as you know, emotion only gets you so far. It's about how we want to play. So we're keen to play our brand of footy tonight.
Stewie Cremeri goes out of the team. He's got a little bit of a niggle in the knee area. You lost Paddy Ryder. It's just a couple of little warning signs saying this is a danger game.
Yeah, look, it's a danger game. It's not really a danger game. St Kilda are a good team, and we respect them as a team. We have to play our best football, and they will too, and we'll see what happens. But we brought Gumbleton in for Cremeri and Hill in as well for Ryder, so there's some pretty good replacements there.
What about the theory of travelling to the west, coming back? It was a wet game. It was quite heavy underfoot at night. Have you eased off them during training during the week?
I get a feeling they're trying to talk us down here.
No, mate. I'm just trying to get every angle.
Tuesday we didn't train that hard, and Thursday we had a bit of a bigger session. So we're ready for the game and no excuses.
Brendon Goddard, as you say, they're all professional footballers, but it's the first time up against his old team. He was a really highly regarded player at this team and an excellent player. Have you had a personal word to him, or is it just business as usual?
Brendon's probably the most professional footballer I've ever met, and even in the 6 months he's been here, he's shown how professional he is. I'd say he's a little bit more nervous than normal. We've calmed him down a bit, but he's up against some of his best mates in his life, and probably never done that before. So it'll be interesting for him, and hopefully he has a good day for a lot of reasons.
What about life with you, mate? Things are going swimmingly at the moment.
Well, I've got to go and coach now, Derm, so I'll give you back this. And
Hurdy, thanks for joining us,
thanks,
mate. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Thanks, Derm.
James Hurd. James Hurd, the Essendon coach there. We are at Etihad Stadium, and it is the Bombers and the Saints. We're leading up to the first bounce here. You're watching Fox Footy.
It's obviously a bond and a relationship that I'll share with them forever, and I'll never forget that. And I said at the time, the hardest decision I had to make was to walk away from my mates, so that's never going to change. I love the footy club, always will. Love the supporters, the support they showed me through the 10 years, and the footy club essentially for giving me an opportunity at the beginning. I will admit it was a calculated decision. It wasn't off the cuff or anything like that. So at the end of the day, I thought Essendon Footy Club suited me personally and as a footballer as well.
205 games for the Saints. He's the recruit of the summer.
Going into Saturday's game, I expect a few boos and stuff like that. So it's nothing that I haven't prepared for mentally or anything. I'll expect a few words from a few of the boys, but I don't think it's going to be anything really personal because we are still friends. I'm quite anxious, to be honest, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be quite weird. I just hope I don't get caught kicking to the wrong team or calling for the ball off anyway. There's actually a ploy I could use, is to call a few of their nicknames, try and get a sneaky little handball around the back or something. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be an interesting night.
205 games for St Kilda. A life member of the St Kilda Football Club, Brendon Goddard, playing against his old teammates for the first time. But every great drama needs a villain, and at least there's a villain out there. Well, there's a couple if you count Stephen Mill. We've got an old villain and a man who's one of our champions, premiership player, Brownlow medalist Mark Rasciuto. We're looking forward to this one, mate.
Oh, it's going to be a beauty, this one. St Kilda been going pretty well. Essendon, fantastic victory last weekend. I couldn't believe what they did in the second half. Can they back it up again today?
Let's have a look at the two lineups, one at a time, of course, because we really need to assess the changes, firstly, to the Essendon Football Club. They've made 6 changes at selection. They've had to make a couple of late changes as well, with Gumbleton coming into the side. But it changes a little bit. They brought in experience. I mean, they've brought in guys like David Hill. They've brought in guys like Winderlich who know how to play the game.
Yeah, they have. They're still pretty solid, aren't they? Carlisle down the back should get the big job on Nick Rewalt. A few of the smalls there. They've got to keep an eye on the St Kilda smalls in the back line. That'll be important. Their midfield's fantastic. Have a look at St Kilda's side. Very, very heavily relying on Nick Rewald up forward line. They go to Meister a lot. Their back line looks a little bit weak there. Could be a bit of a... They're probably lucky that they've got a couple of injuries up forward, Essendon. But the midfields are pretty strong and a great contest in the ruck with McAvoy and Bell Chambers.
Looking forward to this one getting underway. Good crowd building right now. The roof is shut. Let's go down to ground level. 3-time premiership star Cameron Mooney. Welcome to you, Cam.
Yes, g'day Dwayne, and you're right, it is filling up down here, there's no question. And you just look here on the screen, this is what's been handed out. Thousands of these have been handed out today. Stand by her, the placard, and you look at the back out, we are Essendon, support the coach, support the club. Fantastic that they're handing these out, and so they should. They should really be behind this man. He is one of the greats of the club in the AFL. But what I'm really looking forward to tonight, looking forward to seeing Brendon Goddard tonight. He's going to be under a lot of pressure. We're going to be following him around on the game night. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of attention to him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Essendon player, the St Kilda ex-teammates do with him tonight. Whether they put a lot of pressure on him physically, verbally. They would know these weaknesses better than anyone else, and they would know whenever opponents really get into him. We've seen it a few times over the years. He gets frustrated when opponents really get into him. Are we going to see that tonight? I think we will, straight off the bat, but I think then it'll just turn into a normal game of footy. So interesting to see how BJ handles that one, boys.
Just with that, with Brendon Goddard, Scotty Waters coached him last year. Now, Scotty Waters is one bloke, I reckon, who talent ID someone pretty quickly. We had Ross Lyon didn't tag Goddard last week. It'd be interesting if his second coach, Scotty Waters, doesn't tag him as well.
I don't reckon they will. Dermy, I think there's too many other good players in the Essendon lineup this week, isn't it? That star-studded Essendon midfield now runs very deep, and he's certainly not the first bloke you'll be tagging. When you've got Stanton, Watson, Heppel, those sort of guys in that midfield, I think he'll be allowed to run reasonably free tonight.
Have a look at the Saints gather in there. It's going to be a massive job for McAvoy tonight. I think the count last week was that Meister went in and gave a little bit of ruck relief work, but only took 4 bounces. So McAvoy to do the 95% of the ruck work tonight, that is an enormous task against 2 genuinely big first ruckmen in Bell Chambers and Hill.
Yeah, they might have to use Stanley to go in there and give him a bit of hand as well, Jeremy, because Bell Chambers is in very good form. I think he's going to be one of the most improved players in the competition. But the story of the day is Brendon Goddard. There he is heading into the middle now, and he'll be wondering what the opposition's going to do to him, his old teammates. I know when a couple of mine left, I was lining them up, Jeremy, and I was going to go straight at him.
One of your ex-coaches there, Gary Ayres, a teammate of mine, and Gary Buckenara was talking about going back to Perth, and he eventually resigned that idea and said he'd stay at Hawthorn, and Ayres fronted him, poked him in the chest and said, I like you too much, but I would have had to hurt you if you went.
He would have done that too, Big Kaz. He was an angry man, but a very good coach, Gary Ayres.
You might need to put a warning on the bottom of your screen for this one at home. This could get nasty early. The fans know about it. They've already given it to Goddard. A St Kilda home game, don't forget. This is first on the ladder versus ninth. The undefeated Essendon against the Saints, coming off a big win last week. And we're underway and straight to Goddard. It didn't take long on the booze.
Looks like Cale Hooker has gone to Bo Meister and Carlisle to Revolt.
Is that Joe Watson at full forward for Essendon? I think it is.
Well, it is a strange start for the Bombers. He picked it in one route. Watson maybe to break any tag. Jones puts the ball forward for the Saints. Ray stands under it. He was a late inclusion last week and held his spot in the team for this week's game, Farron Ray.
If ever you have a person in your club that you literally say to in the back half of a year, all right, your contract overlaps into next year, but no, we're playing kids, you're not going to get a run. You could be excused if you say, right, I'll drop my performance away. That's literally what's happened to Farron Ray, but he's kept his chin up, he's worked his way back into the team, and from all reports has been a wonderful club man around the place.
Can't squeeze that in. It's a bad miss, really.
It is. You've got to take your chances against good sides, and that was a very, very gettable kick, but hopefully that will be the last one for a while.
Hibbert to Zaharakis. Leading player is the late inclusion, Gumbleton, back into the team this week.
Important for him to get a touch early, Dwayne, too. Very much a confidence player, Gumbleton.
Yeah, Cramery out if you just joined us, Gumbleton in. Zaharakis to Carlisle. What a season he's having. Davey gets there first. Quick-fire handball, might work okay. There he is, Goddard. Well, the ball didn't want him. The ball bounced unkindly for him, and the crowd know it. Watson, it might pay off for them. Hares, long forward. Big fly, no mark brought down. Davey, quick-fire shot at goal across the face. And Geary gets back, knocks it out for Robertson. Space to use. And smothered by Heppel. That's a win.
Well, St Kilda's ball use this year so far has been fantastic. I think they're the most efficient side with the kick and disposals. But Essendon have got great defensive pressure, and we saw there what they can do to the opposition. It'll be interesting to see if St Kilda can hold that efficiency tonight under the pressure of Essendon.
Davey tries to hunt down right. 22 possession performance in game one for him last week. And Watson sprays that, so the pressure is out there. It might only be early, and players are fresh, but pressure has got to the two shots at goal.
You're going to have to watch Joe Watson in that forward line if he stays there, because Reece Stanley's matched up on him at the moment. He has got no hope of doing the job on Joe Watson.
Ace to the leaper. Heppel from 50, puts it to the hot spot. Goddard! How's that for a start?
Let's have a listen to this when he goes back.
Well, that's one way to stir up the opposition. Take a contested mark at the top of the goal square. Now he's just got to finish it off and just not get sucked into any biffo.
Saints believe he left for money. He said it was for opportunity. Take that.
Gee, they've got some heart at the moment, Essendon, haven't they? They did it last week. They've got... have they broken their membership record, Dwayne?
A top 50,000, 50,126 is their record.
Boys, he's about to come off and about to cop his first serve.
Okay, they're only about 100 away from an all-time membership record right now, the Bombers, so the crisis has been good for business.
It's brought them together. To do what they did last week, it's brought them real tight, and you see after he kicked that goal that or the amount of players that ran around him, Dermy, they're as thick as thieves at the moment, aren't they?
They're aware of that, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty well bonded at the moment, these Bombers, aren't they?
From the restart. Stanton thought he was going to get away with it. Flicked out to the side. Geary. Hard tackle. Merritt back into the team this week. Jackson Merritt.
Watson's still at full forward, so interesting move.
Hayes wanted that more than anybody else. Spun out of trouble. Kicked. Oh, not so good. And it's marked by Hooker. Plays on quickly. Myers.
He's got the job on Meister. Hooker, he's been great this year so far in the defence.
Merritt again, delaying that tackle, gets himself a possession. Melksham squeezes it to Hurley. Took it on the chest in the end. You can see the wrist strapped. Davey, well, that's an amazing short pass. Went to the one-on-one, put it in front, trusted him.
The Hurley, he almost trapped the ball. You'd call it a mark, but he trapped it. It came in as a low mongrel floater.
It was.
And he actually trapped it. Arms went parallel to each other, and he almost wedged it between his forearms. Really good catch, really good delivery on the left foot. Should have been spoiled, though. It'd be a disappointing effort by the St Kilda backman.
And he drives it home. Saints had the first shot, messed it up. Bombers have had the last two for 2 goals.
Yeah, they're just using the ball so much better at the moment, Essendon, already running at 74% compared to St Kilda, 44%. So that's why they're in front. They're making the most of their disposals.
This is the Goddard first goal of the game. Del Santo might enter frame just about now.
You wouldn't be too worried. about Nick running into you when you're about 6 inches taller than him and about 10 kilos heavier, would you, Dwayne?
Now that'll get back to Nick Del Santo.
I've seen a couple of little blokes who can do a bit of damage. I don't know if Nick's one of them.
Maybe he was just saying g'day.
There's one sort of not that biggish Dwayne who's sitting between us two who could do a bit of damage.
Yeah, pound for pound. Absolutely. Mark Rasciuto. Montagna gets a clearance. High, Rewalt lurking. Meister crashes the pack. Myers dumped it. Pears mopped it up. Bagley puts it back again. The sidestep doesn't work for Hooker. Back to Bagley to mop it up. Bang! Ooh. Caught high and hard and probably hurt.
Well, he swung him right in and hit another body, but he's up. The young fella, well done.
Back into the team this week, Bagley. 7 games last year. Good Nab Cup. This is Carlisle.
That long ball that went in there, I would have thought the one area St Kilda are going to be really dangerous is on the deck, crumbing inside forward 50, but Bombers were first to that ball and the ensuing crumb that came thereafter. That's a nudge out.
Play on advantage, Robertson.
Well, good effort.
Crunch, Meister, he'll get the free.
That was pretty gutsy, Durham, by Meister to stand under it again. That's 2 deliveries now that have gone just about over his head. The other one did go to Hooker. That one he stood there and took the punishment. He's been a very much improved player.
Well, he's number 2 forward target in the AFL. St Kilda have kicked the ball towards him, the second most of any player in the comp.
Well, there must be a lot of confidence that he can do the job if he's kicking it to him that many times.
More so than his more renowned teammate, Nick Rewalt.
Well, he had 5-3 before that kick for the year. So he has had an accurate season so far, and he finally gets the first goal for the Saints. Cameron Mooney.
Yeah, Dwayne, Derby, you just touched on it there, mate. He's been, if you just look at the scoreboard there, he has been the biggest inside target, going inside 50, 29, and you see Rewalt 25. So that is a big statement. That's obviously saying Rewalt's playing a lot of game time up around the wings, and they're using Meister as that real key inside 50, and he's the second highest inside 50 target in that competition too.
Cameron Mooney on the boundary. 9 premierships between our 3 experts on Fox Footy this afternoon. Dermot Brereton, Mark Rasciuto, Cameron Mooney. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching around the land. Good crowd in here at Etihad. Fantastic atmosphere. McAvoy.
Well done.
Sard, Hayes, caught, ball.
Bennett.
Tackling's been fierce.
Yep, they're a great tackling side, aren't they? They're probably the best in the competition so far this year, Essendon.
Stanton to Gumbleton. And he pumps it. Hurley stays down. Stanley with a fist. Stephen having a good year. Ray behind Sard. Montagna to mop it up. Gumbleton nearly steals it back. Suddenly there's 20 players around it. Ball up.
Just a bit hot with the handball there, weren't they, St Kilda? But nothing wrong with throwing around. Just got to hit the target.
McAvoy could have taken that out of the air. Heppel. Got it on the boot to full forward. Fisher could have marked that, and that kind of tells you there's a bit of pressure out there.
Yeah, he's just still trying to feel his way back into form, isn't he, Sam Fisher? But one of the best defenders in the competition when he's fit and sound.
Hill nearly rips it out of the air. First game for the season for David Hill.
Nonetheless, that movement... I'll defer to you, Moons. That movement by Fisher, even though he could have marked it, he spoiled it. That's good to see Fisher peel off his man and be third man up. You would have seen that many, many times.
Well, it's exactly what you want to see. If your opponent isn't getting it, you want to come off and help your other guy out. And like you said, he should have marked it, could have marked it, but it was fantastic that he did come off Hurley and then come across, make the spoil. Like I said, you don't want too many one-on-ones in your back 50, so it was a great play in the end.
Stephen almost throws it, and then almost threw it again. Crowd thought he threw it. Goddard. Fisher marks that one with ease.
That's the role he plays well, doesn't he? Dropping off, that's when he plays his best footy.
He's got to take him on here. Use his pace, go as far as you can.
So Stanley to Ray.
Good kick.
And pumps it to Meister. He's in a good spot. He's up. He's got it.
Now, let's analyse that. I mean, there's so many times players are so good in this day and age at reading the ball 50 metres down the line, because that's a normal kick. Reece Stanley accepted that ball 15 metres out from the point post. He runs with it, he takes a bounce, he uses his pace to get around, he gets a bit of a shepherd. By the time he is finished with the ball, he's delivered it forward side of the wing. Really good play, took it on, took the play on, delivered up to the wing.
For 2 in a row and for the lead.
Well, another good kick, another good grab, another great kick from the wing into Meister there.
We have a look at this, Stanley. He's 15 metres from goal. So by the time he's done with this ball, he's gone outside 50. The ball's well forward of the
Great
centre.
kick.
Yeah, it's a really good kick. So there's 2 kicks from the back pocket and they get a shot at goal.
Let's not forget he's 6'7" too, Stanley.
Oh, it's lightning.
200 centimetres, so great effort.
Cameron Mooney.
Derby, does it surprise you that Riewoldt isn't the number 1 target inside 50? I think we thought with his age and his body that he was going to spend a little bit more time inside 50. Does it surprise you that Mason's the man?
It doesn't really surprise me because I think Nick's going to be given a lot more latitude these days to run up and find the ball away from the real pounding, heavy artillery that are going to jump into the back of that inside 50 target.
Oh, Fisher.
That's what we were looking for before.
Yep.
They've actually settled all right here, the Saints.
St Kilda home game, big St Kilda crowd. One of their biggest, you've got to say. This is 40,000 plus.
Good spoil.
Hooker thumps it to the boundary. Armitage gets there. Big game for Armitage. He carved GWS apart last week. Tougher opposition this week.
Oh.
Free kick.
You know what? I don't reckon he wanted to do that. He just got corralled and was looking to come back in. I don't reckon that's a great understanding of the game by the umpire, but anyway, it's a free kick, goes forward.
6 players went up for it. Hayes against the grain. And a quick hack forward by Howlett. Howlett bounce across the face. And that'll be a ball in. So that's a win for Essendon, getting a ball in rather than a behind.
I think you'll see the Essendon coaches get a message to whoever's on Fisher soon and just tell him to make sure he presents himself, get in a dangerous spot and try and find him in that forward line.
Essendon free.
It's a block. Bell Chambers footy.
So Bell Chambers, according to the umpire, was blocked or pushed. Looked as if Bell Chambers felt for as much contact as anybody else did.
Getting a little confusing for even the ruckman these days when we have the you must be separated and you come together. I know it's a early season rule. And
gee, it hurts when you give a goal away, though, dude.
oh, yeah.
Accurate this year. He's kicked 5-1 before that. Now he's 5-2. Well, maybe the footy gods are here. Might not have deserved it. Let's have a look at this.
Now, Lenny's...
Oh, yeah, he did too.
Yeah,
that's a good
that's
free.
a free kick. Well picked. Umpire, there's no...
What was Lenny thinking there?
Yeah, took his eyes off it.
Absolutely. A man of his experience.
Third error for Lenny. I mean, he just got that kick away then and hit the target. He's had 3 errors in the opening 6 minutes here.
And make that 7. Straight to Heppel from Lenny Hayes. To Watson, a little short. McAvoy crashed it down. Howlett caught. Robertson. It's hot in the kitchen right now. Melksham breaks through a couple of tackles. To Watson. Caught. Didn't get a handball away first time. Gets it to Merritt this time. To Stanton. Wide ball. Hurley on the move. Goes hard. Good fist from Stanley. Knocks it down. Off hands Fisher. Saints look for some space. Sard bumped. And a good bump too. Melksham just bumped him out of it. Watson gives it back to Melksham. There's your award. Heppel caught by Armitage. It's getting harder and harder to get a touch right now.
Right now, the Saints actually believe. And you once again saw the pace of Stanley down back be able to close down that spoil on the leading player up to the footy.
Zaharakis wide. One grab. Not the second for Bell Chambers. And taken out Geary. So there's a hard tag now on Watson with Jones. We have a look at this free again.
Yep. No, it was there.
So I'm quite sure Scotty Waters would prefer a free kick like that for a bloke intent on tackling rather than let it go.
Jones gets a touch back on Watson. Goddard lays a hard tackle.
So Hurley is actually trying to go to Fisher, as you said before, Derm. Stanley's trying to get on him to free up Fisher, but they understand they can't allow Sam to run free, otherwise he'll zone off and get in the way.
Heppel straight up in the air. McAvoy crashes that, almost worthy of a kick. And it doesn't roll out. Hibbert Bagley caught by Milne. He wanted him bad.
In the back.
Ooh. It's one of those threes that sometimes only happen to guys like Stephen Milne. It looked like a pretty good tackle.
What are you saying, Dwayne? The umpires don't like him?
He often doesn't get the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, well rode.
Hayes. Del Santo. Geary. And it'll be coming back. Bagley.
Yeah, Malira needed to come over there and match up. You can't allow one or two Essendon players to be free down the line when you've got defenders under pressure.
Simple formula for that one, Roo, is you have to be close enough to cover the distance while the ball's in flight to get to that bloke sitting behind play.
Howlett, in the end, almost found the target, Courtney Dempsey. Nice sidestep, sold that dummy, goes for goal, drives it line, it gets there!
You talk about footy gods, Dwayne, and maybe that's the footy god just saying there, Malira, if you're not going to come over and do your job and help out your defenders and give them a bailout option, I'll just make Essendon kick a goal here and make you pay. And that's basically what happened, and Dempsey just took full advantage. He's got that real turn of foot, a great kick from 55 out, and Hill chose not to get in the way. But have a look here, just a couple of quick steps. Bang.
There's a theory on that, and people say, I'll go and stand next to that bloke who's sitting out behind play. You don't, because if the ball comes out and your team's got time to spot you up, you want to get away from him. You stand 5 to 10 metres away, so if the ball's in flight, you can get to him and spoil, but enough distance away that you can create yourself.
Del Santo going nowhere from the ball up. Essendon will maintain top spot on the ladder with a win, regardless of who else wins what around the league this weekend, thanks to their extraordinary percentage as it stands right now. And this is a big game for the Saints as well. Jones not jumped on according to the umpire. Hibbert. Hill. Oops, wasn't very dainty. Geary stole that from Howlett.
That time in forward half, talk about that after this contest.
Milne stays down. Hibbert evades the tackle. Kick half smothered by Stephen. Hares toes it away. Stevens pursue it. Geary got his arms free and then dropped it. Zaharakis, good tackle. Play on advantage. Bell Chambers. Slick hands again. Dempsey, Hurley over his head. McAvoy needs to get there in a hurry here. Hurley just wanted it more. Towed it off the deck toward the boundary. Knocked back in the direction of Watson. Over the top. Team goal coming up. That is brilliant. Merritt finishes the job.
Now they're going to examine this for a touch on Fisher's arm.
We believe it's a goal. However, we'd just like to check when the ball is touched. Thank you.
Well, if it is a goal, Michael Hurley was absolutely fantastic there.
Wasn't he good?
This is the end result. Let's have a look here. It's gone the snap. Fisher's hands will go up. Oh, you can't really tell. It's on the inside.
They're going to have to rewind that and see if Fisher's hand stretches backwards. It's real slow. No, that's clear. That's not definitive. It's got to go with the original belief of the goal umpire and field umpire. That'll be a goal.
No worries. All clear.
Well, full marks to Michael Hurley. Didn't get a stat there at all, but the way he attacked the ball on 2 occasions and had the brains that he knew he'd be under pressure if he tried to take possession of the ball, smacked it back. And Courtney Dempsey too, he needs to be watched at half back.
Well, Malira, that's 2 times his defensive starting position as a forward has been lax.
So there's that first one, there's the second one there. Great pick up by Watson under pressure. And a good finish from Merritt, but they're going to have to... There's Hurley last week when he goes down at the end of the game. Everyone thought he's broken his wrist or done something really bad, but great effort for him to come up.
Del Santo and Goddard, 2 old friends head to head. Goddard put him down, wrapped him up. Hasn't been a lot of banter between them just yet.
Free kick, Montagna. Pushing the back.
Hope you heard that at home. Montagna's free, pushing the back off the ball. Heads in the Hayes direction. 12-point margin. Squeezes to the pocket. Revolt. Having a good year, Nick Revolt. Joint leader in the race for the Coleman. Has been spending more time inside 50 in 2013.
I reckon when Moons was asking about Meister before, he has drawn a fair bit of the heat away from Revolt. It's allowed him to get these types of one-on-ones inside forward 50.
Saw the probability, only 33%. And there's a free kick on the behind line.
Attempt up and down. Not here.
Goddard's free.
He stood his ground, David.
Armitage unrealistic attempt at the mark.
That was a good call because he tried to milk, but he was shepherded.
Hocking. And split the difference. Kick not so good. Although the chaos ball does work occasionally. Hill, well, he just wanted it. Attacked it and got it. Gave to Hurley. Spin. The kick to Watson. Manhandled. Kept his feet. Pounces. Superstar.
He is very, very dangerous when he goes forward, and that's those big body midfielders that can go forward. 6'2", 90-odd kilos. He pushed Gilbert around, a full-time defender, and pushed him down, kept his feet, Joe, and then just composed himself and finished. It was pretty good play there by both Hill and Hurley. But there you go with Joe Watson, straightens up and kicks a drop punt.
I said it before, he'll go down as one of the best Saints ever and best centre forward in the history of the game. So.
Yeah. The young lad Wright playing his second game, number 34 for the Saints, he just had to go at David Hill then. He just had to run at him, had to make some form of contact. He just gave the ole and allowed him through.
Yep.
By the way, that was Brendon Goddard talking about Nick Revolt being one of the greats of the game. We'll play a little bit of Brendon Goddard's interview with us midweek throughout the course of this game. 31-13, biggest lead of the game to either team. 3-goal margin. Back into play. McAvoy knocked it down though, straight to Melksham. To half forward, Hurley attacks it, Watson attacks it. Gilbert right within his time, he keeps his feet this time. Doesn't go to ground, now he does. Davey tried to steal it. Goddard throws that handball out.
You now, Jeff.
Stanley hunted down by Hurley. Nothing wrong with that wrist. Robertson. Little 1-2 with Gilbert. Makes it somebody else's problem. Milne has to jump. Does a good effort there. Brought it to ground. Watson. Bombers with the numbers. Myers. Sits it up. Hill from 4 deep. Free kicks going to against Campbellton.
Essendon are doing really well. When St Kilda come out at the moment, we've only seen that one from Reece Stanley come out with real pace. Every other time Essendon have kicked the ball to the centre wing, St Kilda kicked to the centre wing on the outward flow. Essendon have outnumbered them, repelled the ball, turned it around and put it back into forward 50.
So Simpkin to Ray to the wing. Meister couldn't mark it. Jack Stephen not all that happy with the delivery. Ball in. A packed city side of Etihad Stadium as Stanton hacks it forward.
Just come on, Del Santo.
Robertson to Del Santo. 45 minutes gone, opening term, being played at a frenetic pace. Jones.
He's going to wind himself in circles here.
Gilbert. Malera. Big opportunity for him here. He probably owes them 1 or 2. Heads for Rewalt, missed him. Courtney Dempsey. Should have gone for goal, really. Sometimes if you're the forward, you're a goal-kicking forward, you just have to have the ability to go for it with confidence. Straight through Malera again. Bagley. Heppel. Milne slick. Hayes. Montagna. Gang tackled. Ball hits the deck. Again, they get away with it, the Bombers. Hibbert, long handball. Bagley lost it. Milne, a dance. Spears it. Harsard, not clear by a hooker. Stanton. Melksham caught by Rewald. Was that a throw? Rewald doesn't think he handballed it legally. Melksham's got it. Half back. Bombers get a break. Again the tempo lifts. Stephen. Little fumble Montagna. Back to the hot spot. Rewald's there. Can't get a run at it. Hits the deck. Jones. Caught by Myers. Let him go when he knew it was going to be high. Ball up.
Did really well holding the ball in there, the Saints.
Well, what's that? Is that holding the ball? Surely it is.
That's the way you and I were brought up, Root.
Jones. To the boundary.
Why don't they pay those free kicks? Because
They'll
it's a shot on goal.
He'll get the benefit of the doubt that no prior opportunity, but he cocked the handball, didn't get it away. Look, you take that one on board and say, right, let's just be consistent with that from now.
Stephen couldn't get it away in time. And again, there's about 25 players in the vicinity of this. We'll get a ball up.
No hold! Hands
That
up,
for
hands
congestion.
up!
Tired boys out there. Quarter time can't come quickly enough for a couple of them. Hooker through some traffic. Stanton, open spaces ahead. Didn't need to go to Hurley. It might work for them. Hockings lurking out wide. Back inboard to Hurley. Stanton. Pear's still calling for it after giving it. Doesn't get it back. Davey went one-handed. Zaharakis. Heppel. Hocking. Backwards to go forward. Pears does get it again. First game for the year for Tate Pears. Hibbard. All the way across to Myers. High, that's a bomb. Bell Chambers and Gumbleton. Bell Chambers marks it. Gumbleton just protected him at the last second.
Big pack, big mark.
Been kicking a few goals this year, the big fella, hasn't he, when he goes forward?
He owes him one at the moment after that last miss. It's a big mark. Packers, genuine pack of 5 key position size players.
And completes the deal. This is getting dangerous for the Saints heading to quarter time.
Well, they've just dominated possession, haven't they? 101 disposals to 66, 16 inside 50s to 11, and 6 goal 1 to 2 goal 1. They're really on top. They're tackling harder again, 20 to 14. Contested possessions of 48 to 31. So everything is heavily slanted towards Essendon at this stage.
Let's go down to Moons on the boundary.
Well, Derby, it's amazing what confidence can do, and I think that's why maybe a couple of months ago you might have seen the big fella with his top off driving around that Jeep.
It was 13 degrees on one of our chillier mornings here in the Melbourne summer. There's a bloke with the convertible Jeep. Nothing on the top. So he had a pair of
feeling
shorts
very
on.
good.
Yeah, 13 degrees. He's out bare-chested.
Watson gave it to Howlett, to Zaharakis, to Hill.
Good
Dangerous
kick.
spot again. Standing under it, Robertson didn't want to mark. Probably should have gone for it. Davey kept it alive. Zaharakis with the banana. Can't make them pay. They're looking ultra dangerous right now, the Bombers.
Contested possessions is the one you touched on there, Root. 52 to 31 in the first quarter. Other than that, when St Kilda have had the ball and they've moved it, to me they look like they've got a touch more foot speed than Essendon, but they just haven't been able to win it enough to get equal supply.
Saints fans thought they deserved a free. That was from Pears' boot. It was accidental, even though it rolled off his toe and out of play. Ball in, 45 seconds left. And they're getting a little restless, the St Kilda fans. They're not liking what they're seeing. Milne takes them all on. Kick was horrendous. Stanton, oh, that's ball! Didn't get a legal kick away.
2.
Malera gives it up. Armitage, high, goal square, finally!
Well, Milne tried to create a play. He just couldn't quite get through the traffic. And this is great pressure there.
One step, that's
Sard,
Yeah, he got the benefit of the of the doubt, no prior opportunity.
And that is called forward 50 pressure, and that is...
Which has been good for the Saints.
Yep, they're very good at it. They've probably been one of the leaders in the game for quite a while at it, and Sard was the man that allowed it to happen. So Armitage could kick another goal. 4 last week against GWS and 30-odd touches, so going along pretty well again today. He's had 5 now.
That's the contested possessions you can see on your screen there, 34 to 52 in favour of the Bombers. They're just getting more of the win and sharing it a little bit better, so that's the discrepancy in overall possessions as well.
20 seconds left. Trent Dennis Lane to Jones. Pears overcommitted. Armitage back onto it in the dying seconds. Races inside 50. That would have been big.
Yeah, just under pressure at full strength, just fell off the kick and took the ball with it.
But we've got a game. Fantastic crowd in for this St Kilda home game. James Hurd on the boundary. They brought the support Hurd placards. It's been a massive 2013 for the Bombers, but so far they are yet to taste defeat. And at quarter time here at Etihad Stadium, they're looking strong. 18 points to the good. Doesn't get any better than this. Saturday afternoon in Melbourne at Etihad Stadium, and we've got a blockbuster. Second term coming up straight up as well. Dermot and Mark Rashudo have been keeping an eye on him. He's provided so far.
Yeah, he's had 7 disposals in the first quarter. Got that goal early, which was fantastic for him, just to settle the nerves, taking a great grab at the top of the square. But apart from that, hasn't been too dangerous, Derm.
Look, they've had a series of opponents. Montaña's spent a bit of time on him. Also, Jones has spent a little bit of time on him. But it's more, I believe, when they're around the stoppage, they delegate somebody to go to him rather than say you got a hard and fast run with roll. He hasn't been all that damaged, and that was a good grab he took coming across the front of the pack. But, yeah, probably look for a bit. He's going to wear this type of barrage all day.
Yep.
He'll continue to get advice the entire afternoon. Let's have a listen to what Brendon Goddard said about his old superstar teammate Nick Riewoldt.
I said it before, he'll go down as one of the best Saints ever and best centre-half forward in the history of the game, and so he should. He's been an outstanding player and outstanding leader, and as you know, he's a really close friend of mine and one of my best mates.
Well, you could argue we've got the best centre-half forward of all time, Dermot Brereton, in the broadcast box with us, but we've got one who was also pretty damn good, 3-time premiership star Cam Mooney. What did you make of that, Cam?
Yeah, thanks, Dwayne. Looking at Jake Carlisle here on the screen, and this is what he's done over the last 3 weeks. He did a pretty good job on it was Tex Walker first up, and then I think it was Mitch Clark after that. Then last week on Pav, kept him scoreless, and tonight he's kept Riewoldt just to 1 possession in this first quarter, so he's had an unbelievable start to the season.
Hurley crashes that pack. Second term underway. Stephen against the grain. McAvoy in some trouble. Melksham hunted him down, wing tackled him. Simpkin can't break free. And we'll get another ball up. And he has been one of the stars of 2013 and 2012, Jake Carlisle.
Oh, you blow the whistle now. He's all Australian centre-half back. Yep. I know we're only 3 games in, but if that's all you can judge by, he's the man.
When James Hurd took over at Essendon, they were seen as a real attacking side but had no defence at all. Yep. They have worked so hard on their defensive side of the game. You can see St Kilda really struggling to get any free ball at the moment.
Did pretty well there to break out of that, Gilbert. And find a target, Meister, all the way down to half-back. Sard's running. He's hardly seen it, Ahmed Sard. And won't see it here. Pears knocks it away. And has support. Courtney Dempsey coming off a big first turn to Bagley.
Nonetheless, it's a very poor kick to Sard. If you're going to miss, you miss it out in front to allow him to use his pace. You don't miss it behind him to bring Pears into play. He's got 20 kilos and 20 centimetres on him.
Hibbert. Myers. A little hush falls over Etihad Stadium.
It's playing a little bit more tempo with the ball, or down tempo now for Essendon.
Hocking to Carlisle.
That Sard sprint away, that's what it looks like they have a touch more foot speed, St Kilda, if they're allowed to get it and run it into open space with advantage. Essendon are not going to allow that to happen. Control the ball. They prefer the tighter in football. They're winning the contested possessions.
Oh, there's some arrogance. Hibbert takes on Riewoldt. He knew the ageing veteran wasn't going to get him. It turns over though, and Riewoldt won't get it on the way back. Jones, Armitage, didn't want to go for goal. Or maybe he was a bit gun-shy. Missed one late in the opening term, but he had to go for it there. Crunch, McAvoy with the fist. Stanton. Ray tracks him. Doesn't give away the free.
Nonetheless, Wayne, that's the second inside 50 chip kick to a teammate when the goals were beckoning.
Yeah. Hill, Stanton. Early, wrist looks okay.
Got to hit your targets when you go inside 50, and Nick Riewoldt wasn't the right option, even though he went to him. There's a one over the back with Jake Stevens there, and he was crying out for it. And the difference between hitting your target in forward 50 and not is, like we see now, a scoring opportunity for the opposition if they're any good.
I reckon there was 7 metres of target that he should have probably gone to.
Yep.
Had some wrist surgery over summer, so there's always going to be concern there. That is a spectacular kick to start this second term.
Yep, just took full use of that turnover there, Essendon, didn't they? Here's Watson again, getting plenty of the ball today. He's having a field day again. Big Hill's been all right too today, coming into it, and Stanton, if you got that much time and space going into your forward 50, you're going to hit your target. Good grab and a great kick from 55.
The difference was there between the kicker and the leading player, there was no traffic. You could just punch it low and momentum's going to carry it on into Hurley's hands.
Got to get their defensive pressure up at the moment, St Kilda. They're allowing Essendon too much time and space.
So I reckon their defensive pressure's all right inside both 50s. It's through the middle when they're allowing that type of kick to come to the fore.
24 points the margin. McAvoy. The umpire goes down. Jones gave it off to Hayes, to half forward. Milne, he's got a couple to beat here. Bagley hunts him down. No Pryor, play on. Ray inside 50. Sard can't get near it again. Hooker. Hibbert from half back. The run from Bagley.
Well done. Good run.
Hocking. Hurley's on the move again. He's peeling back to the square. A grubber, Howler. Hocking, it might work. Gets the 1-2 and goes for goal. Yes.
Nick Del Sando, he needs to lift at the moment. He's getting tagged by Hocking. Hocking ran away from his 20 metres away from him there, and Del Sando was just trotting along on the inside. I think Nick's only had the 3 touches at this stage. Hocking's had 8. He needs to look at his defensive side as well as his attacking side of his game.
Hibbert to Stanton, missed Watson. And look at that. That's a captain, if you've ever seen it. Could have blasted his teammate for poor delivery, but said, no, it's okay. Let's think of the next ball.
Montagna at the front.
McAvoy down to Hayes.
Play on.
Watson, a bounce pass to Hill, if you don't mind. Hill wasn't quite as adept. Hayes knocks it out. He got one a little high, Lenny Hayes. Geary handballs it on.
Got to run.
I'll get out of it anyway. Right, pumps it. Riewoldt in a good spot here. He had Carlisle under the ball.
Isn't that an anomaly of the rules? You're not allowed to motion somebody from behind with the flat open palms if you touch them on their back. But if they're facing you, you can push them as hard as you like. Same action, same body, but they're just turned around and the rule is permitted.
So if you're a defender, should you turn around and back in with your...
You know what? If Bruce Dill was playing, I reckon that's what he'd do.
They need their superstar to stand up here, Nick Riewoldt, and provide. He kicked 4 goals and had 3 Brownlow votes given to him last time these two teams met, and that was a Saints win by 71 points. Can't deliver on cue here.
Not happy, Carl Hooker. Was that at the umpire?
I don't know. Who was that?
Or was he looking for a third man up?
The unhappy Hooker. Ball knocked down to Goddard. Touch play on. Gumbleton, good attack. Better hands. Myers. Zaharakis bump. Myers mops it up. Right, fists away from Davey, who keeps his feet. Rolls it to half forward. Simpkin in a race, doesn't need to. 25 points the margin.
Gee, what a discrepancy in the possession so far. 146 Essendon, St Kilda 89.
Armitage caught. One of those has been high in the possession getters the last few weeks, especially last week. McAvoy can't break free with it. Gang tackle.
Well, the umpire's been very lenient today, and that's all. He's been consistent. He's been very lenient on the player with the ball getting tackled. Time to get rid of it and time holding onto it.
Ooh. A block in the right.
Come back on. Stay out, Lenny.
Hill. Watson goes. Howler caught. Simpkin. Just in time. Geary. Rewalt caught under this one. And getting back with the flight again, Hooker.
That's that place on the wing when they kick to the wing and Geary need to take a risk and run it an extra 10 metres.
That's what Essendon are doing. Yeah. They're running it out with time and space, and St Kilda are under pressure coming out of their defensive 50.
Heppel's all on his own on 50. He can line this up from there, take some time, steady. It's across the face. And Fisher looks a little hurt.
Well, both sides have got a loose behind the play at the moment. Sam Fisher's trying to get it loose for St Kilda, and I think it's Hibbard that's trying to get free when he can.
Trent Dennis-Lane hasn't seen a lot of it. Can't get near it again here. Melksham steals. Myers.
Good tackle.
Gilbert wrapped him up. Dispossessed. Malera towards half forward. Milne is caught out of position. Dyson Heppel, bouncing ball on the wing, unkind to him. Stephen sees it out.
He's improved, Hibbard, hasn't he? He's good, solid, tough, small defender, mid-sized defender.
Goddard had acquired her second term after a big first quarter against his old team.
Well, he's keeping Kyle Hardingham out of the team, who I think is quite a talent, so he's obviously highly rated, Hibbard.
Holding, Lee Montagna. 11.
Lee Montagna.
Montagna held. To Milne. Wants to get and go. Always wanted the right foot. Past Meister. Back of the pack. Malera gathers, gives. Rewalt on the line. They hit the post, did it?
That's on the man. He never grabbed the ball, did he?
I think he did and dropped it into the post. Let's hope he's not hurt.
Just slammed into the turnbuckle, Dwayne.
I think his hands and the ball hit the post.
Okay, get another look at it here. Reverse angle. Yeah, the handball's overcooked.
There you go.
He did take it. Yeah, good decision, umpire.
The goal umpire was the first man to be hit by the ball, but in that situation, the goal umpire is virtually the post. Stanton to Hurley. Straight through the hands, unfortunately for Gumbleton. Geary.
Can't get it delivered too much better than that,
do you? Dream of those. And these.
Fisher. Good hands. That's what Gumbleton didn't have.
If Gumbleton had have accepted that, he'd be lining up for Essendon's 8. 4 of their initial 7 goals here tonight have come from the half-back line, untouched by St Kilda on the way through. So that's that midfield. Between the two 50s, St Kilda are not putting great pressure on Essendon.
Aister towards the wing, but here's where they've been breaking down. Bagley just got it and went.
No pressure.
Zaharakis. Hocking. Turnover. Stephen straight through them. Rewalt wants a short. Got it. Needs to finish. He's got the one over the top if he wants it. Stephen runs on and will kick the goal, and that pumps up the volume.
Yeah, good effort by Jakey Stephen there. He deserved that. He got that one where he was burnt earlier on.
He read the intercept, didn't he? That's where he made the goal. Right here.
Right there. Good boy. Good pick up. Lowered the eyes, hit the target, followed up, ran on and got the goal.
It's amazing how hard you run when you can see 6 points on the end of it.
Absolutely.
You could level at him. He hasn't run as hard inside, in between the 250s, in the other direction.
As you said, when there's a goal there to be had, Dan, go for it.
Yeah, find a bit.
He's had 8 touches now. Stephen, that kicked the goal. Well done.
Unbelievable, though. 60 more possessions to Essendon, and we're not even at half-time yet. And they only hold a 19-point lead.
I think they're having more possessions than anyone else in the competition so far this year, Essendon.
Oh, hang on.
Davey from mid-air. That is crazy good.
The last time we saw that was our own Brad Johnson. He did it out here many, many years ago, just hacked one off that was bobbling around in mid-air.
Gee, that really does hurt St Kilda. They work for a goal.
And hit it
He
sweet.
kicks it check side.
Hit it sweet.
Oh, well, they're skillful little players, those small forwards, and that was a cracking goal by Davey.
Anyone can take a hack at a ball out of mid-air and get a bit of it, and it'll go anywhere. But to actually see the ball falling and hit the sweet spot takes some skill.
Well, he picked which side he had to kick, and the good players can actually do that when the ball's bouncing as well. See which way the ball is about to land on the deck and which way it's going to bounce because of it.
Most definitely.
Montagna towards half forward. Melksham. And that hurt St Kilda really. Del Santo, they need the instant reply back again. Good grab, hooker. He's got Myers wide. Lenny Hayes with him. Hits the deck.
Holding, Essendon.
Saints fans voice their disapproval.
Move it on. Play on.
Zaharakis gets away from Del Santo. Merritt. Hurley. Looking dangerous again here. Toward Hill, full forward. Stanley with the fist. Robertson caught. Was that a handball?
Oh, no.
Towed off the deck, Merritt. Simpkin, dangerous bounce for him. Tried to bring down Stanton. He goes for goal from the pocket. No way. Get out of here.
That was a harder kick nearly than Davies. That was a great goal. He was running the wrong direction, Dan, and they are on fire, Essendon. No wonder they got more members than ever before. I'd even sign up myself.
He goes to ground here when he shouldn't against Brent Stanton. Really good snap, though. Really good execution there. Just looking at Lenny Hayes, he's had 8 possessions. 4 of them have been ineffective, so that takes him down to 4 effective possessions. He's given away 3 free kicks. So effectively, he's +1 on possessions. Now, we all love Lenny Hayes, and I think he's one of the warriors of this sport. But this is not an enjoyable opening half by Lenny Hayes.
Yep, no, he hasn't had his best half, but you know one thing, he'll have a crack for the rest of the game.
He'll die having a crack for you in the second half, no doubt.
Watson cuts it off. Back to Bell Chambers. Goddard is overzealous. In fact, he got a push. That's why he jumped too high too early. And this is going to make the Saints fans move uneasy in their chairs right now. It's 31 points this margin and growing by the second. To the boos. And to the cheers. Suddenly they love him again. Robertson to the pocket. Geary. Big 9 minutes coming up here to half-time.
He's got to keep running. He's got to make Hurley chase him all the way.
The delivery to Wright. Goddard with him.
That's a free kick. He never looked at the footy and pushed his opponent over. That's a miss by the umpire.
Hibbard. Goddard. Keppel. Crafty. Kick not so good, although there's that chaos ball again. Fisher. Geary. I do. I think it works a lot of the time. Montagna long. Sard's down there. Malira's down there. Sard off hands. Golden opportunity.
Oh no.
had to make that his moment. That is a disaster.
How did he miss that?
I think he stubbed the ground there, boys, as he kicked it.
No, you can't miss that.
You're not going to win games if you miss them, are you? Compared to what Essendon have done with their last 2 goals.
And right now, he's the best set shot in the AFL, stats-wise.
That's like not being able to spell your own name. It's just something that shouldn't happen.
Watson. They can smell some blood here, Essendon.
You could probably spell Sard wrong too, dude.
Right with 3 A's. Dyson Heppel to the midfield. Bellchambers. Will knock to ground. Melksham. Caught from behind. That was almost in the back too. They get away with it. They need a break. They get one. Armitage short. Rewalt's on the march. Got it on the bounce. Lost it though. Myers to the wing. Dyson Heppel. And it works for them. Howlett. Stanton. Farron Ray there. Stanton keeps his feet. Ray got back in time. Geary jumped on. Could have been a free. Now Santo. Handball too slick for Gilbert. Zaharakis. Hurley. Who had who? Hurley's ball. Oh, they are going crazy here at Etihad, the Saints fans.
You do see Hurley's jumper stretch away from the body. Now, whether he's grappling on and reacting to an initial grab from Hurley, we'll get a look at that. There's a bit of push. See, the jumper stretch, as soon as the umpires see the jumper stretch away, they'll blow the whistle. But he was moving him under the footy.
This is going to get a little nasty.
Let's have a look where it should have gone back to the centre. With this one, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Take
5,
a bounce,
6,
son.
7, 8. Oh, he hasn't stubbed the ground. Moons, he didn't stub the ground. He
Half
just
kicked
dropped it to the inside of his foot.
Well, he might have gone for a bit of a drop kick there too.
Yeah.
If you're going to hold on, Sam Fisher, you've got to be prepared to give away a free kick, don't you?
Occasionally, yep.
37 points the margin. 37 points, biggest margin of the game. And the ball up. Goddard. Massive 7 minutes coming up here. Dyson Heppel along. Hurley. Fisher. Ball hits the deck. Davey. Almost tracked it down. Robertson. A little nervous. Gilbert.
Oh, he's gone back to centre.
McAvoy. Fisher. Saints could lose the game in this next 6 minutes. They could also play their way back into it. Trent Dennis-Lane. Nick Del Santo, haven't called his name a lot.
The thing is with Sard, he's got pairs on him. You called it, what is it, the scatter ball, or you call it the chaos ball? Well, that's what they've got to give to Sard, because they're just popping him up over his head, and Pears is picking it off more times than not. He got out the back on that one he missed, but they've actually got to start kicking low, flat, even those chaos balls or scatter ball, whatever you want to call it. You can't put it up in the air because that's what Pears is looking for.
Yeah, Milne likes them low as well along the deck. Meister doesn't get a jump at it. That might be a free to Meister. Oh, they're happy with that.
He got pushed in the back twice then from 2 different blokes.
Lucky they were simultaneous, or it could have been 50. And this becomes, in many respects, the biggest kick of the game for the Saints. Ahmed Sard's kick was the biggest kick until this point. Can Meister kick his third? You see the numbers. He's virtually 50-50. It's coming. Not enough.
It's funny when you're on that side of the ground for a right-footed doom, you just get distracted by that angle, you get distracted by that right post, and you've just got to block it out and make out it's not there. Oh yeah. When you're in closer on that angle, it's amazing how many times they kick it at that and hits that right post.
Fisher should gobble this up. It's like the trees or the lake next to the fairways. You've just got to block it out.
Don't hit it in there. Don't hit it in there. What do you do?
Hit it in there.
Armitage.
They go to Meister here. Go out the back.
He's got the jump here, Meister. No, he stayed down and still marked it.
Yeah, when I call out
there's a push. He's not going to get it.
Nothing is going right here for the Saints, is it?
Bagley's ball. Simpkin attacks it, but again, just overcommitted. Howlett. Look out. Zaharakis on the move. He could go all the way here. Has a bounce. Being hunted down. That is a fantastic chase. Stephen wanted him. Calls the turnover. And they might get one on the rebound. From little things, some big things can grow. Huge 4 minutes coming up here.
Good shutdown. Well done, Hibbert.
They're good Essendon, aren't they? The ball goes into the forward line, and they already had their defensive structure set up, and St Kilda couldn't rebound.
Hill doing the ruck on his own here. Could have just ripped it out of the air.
Oh, look at that. That's a 5-on-3 there in favour of Essendon and a centre line throwing.
Goddard long. Dalsando doesn't get there in time. Stanley does, but fumbles it.
That was a useful fumble in the end. Yeah, when I said centre line throwing, the boundary line throwing, true centre wing, there were 5 Essendon players at the ball, 3 St Kilda. I mean, they outnumbered them by 2. It's just unforgivable.
Myers. Stand stark, Gumbleton. This will work. Oh, unkind bounce. Who are you talking to at half-time, Dermot, after that bounce?
Well, he didn't turn them that way. He turned them the other way.
When he wanted to. He
turned them anyway. Yeah, that was his wrong. And Shane Warren's joining us at half-time. Lifelong St Kilda player. And played a few in the Magoos at St Kilda and a handful in the under-19s as well.
Looking forward to that at half-time. We might replay a bit of Eddie's commentary from today as well at half-time, so stick around for that in 3 minutes and 30. But it's a big 3:30 coming up for the Saints. Can they play their way back into it, get some momentum back? Jones hammers it toward Meister.
See, that's a terrible kick. That should be an accepted mark, and the ball should be up there in front of the goal sticks by now.
There he is, the great Shane Warne.
And there's Dad Keith next to him. I think Dad barracks for Essendon.
Oh, boy. Armitage.
I think.
Rewalt, good spot, can't mark it. Gets a free. Rewalt to get a free to a huge round of applause.
Was it the front on contact? So that's a side push. And that's front on contact to the head. Coming with the flight of the ball.
Or was it Pears?
I would think so.
Well, he has to lead them.
Well, his last kick was a horrible shank.
It's going to take a couple more steps than he did last time. I reckon he kicked it off about 2 or 3 steps.
Every Saint fan thinking if Rewalt can't, we can't. But if Rewalt can, maybe they still can.
Well, 5 goals is not a lot in modern day football, but you don't want it to get too much further than that. They need to try and keep it within range. If they could get another one here in the last 2 minutes, they're well within striking distance in the second half.
Not smart by Pears. The ball had already been spoiled.
Exactly.
He arrived late. He arrived in poor fashion. He arrived conceding a free kick and goal.
He turned the wrong way, Dermy. If he had to turn the other way, I think he would have been fine. Just that he took his eye off the ball completely.
That's it, because he's a right-hander.
Yeah.
Moons. If he went for it left-hand, he'd turn his face to the incoming ball.
See, contested possessions 89 to 65 in favour at Essendon. That's a big advantage.
Must be close to 45,000 here at Etihad. This is a huge Saints crowd. Can they keep the momentum their way? Hibbert from Happel kicks long.
That's a shepherd. That's a shepherd. Yep, all day long. You've got to go for the ball. You cannot deny your opponent a chance to run at the ball if you're not having a go.
And Watson was free. Gumbleton gives it to him. He hits the hot spot. Bell-Chambers crashed it. Couldn't bring it down. McAvoy to Geary. Floats it. Sard has to go. Causes the spillage. Watson flicks it out. Still available for them though. Long. Gumbleton, Hill, spoil each other, and taken across the line by Stanley's hand.
Yeah, good effort, Stanley there. St Kilda just cannot run it out of their defensive 50 without pressure from Essendon.
Great kick. They'll go this time.
So open space ahead.
Must hit the target.
And he misses it completely, but it could roll. Sard, another fumble.
Chaos ball.
Yeah, and I think the chaos is too good for Sard. He got in Riewoldz's way, really. Watson squeezes it to Hockey.
You can't miss those lead-up targets like that, though. That's soul-destroying for a forward.
Everybody takes a breath. Courtney Dempsey knows. Let's be happy to go in half-time with this margin. They look at the clock here. They don't know how long left exactly, but they can see that there's 28 gone.
Man up here, St Kilda, try and cause a turnover if they can. Essendon just put too much flight on the ball, turn it over.
Bagley hugs the boundary to Carlisle.
There we go.
Right, Meister's got in behind his opponent. It looks like Joe Watson's having to give coverage on Meister. Now he's going to be able to outstretch him. He goes long, and it goes away from him.
Fisher goes long in the end towards Sard. Used his body. Courtney Dempsey read it too well. Zaharakis floats it. Howlett keeps it alive. Hayes tried to track him. Stephen back to Hayes. 30 seconds left. Short of the pocket. Sard, well, he's the best set shot in the AFL. It's all substance, no style, this set shot routine, but it works.
So he's not too good on the open goals, though.
No, he owes him one.
He owes him two. He can only kick one here, though. But it'll be a big one because the siren is about to stand.
Good try.
The slow, straight walk in. Siren will sound. It doesn't break his concentration.
He's going to get close.
For the momentum. Couldn't nail it on the big occasion. Courtney Dempsey lets him know about it. The umpires are coming. I said it might get nasty.
She's on.
You can still give a free kick here.
Can you?
Yeah, but my word, you can.
We better not hit him then.
Courtney Dempsey.
Yeah, she's just erupted, boys. Milne has just come in and it's completely erupted.
Was it simmering moons?
Oh, it's fantastic, Derm.
Get in there, Moons.
This is what footy's about.
You can't give away a free kick, Moons.
If you see a guy in a suit flying over the top, that's me.
Take your tie off.
Emotions are high. There's rip jumpers, pushing, shoving. The standby herd signs in the background. This is a massive game for both clubs. Is the sun fading on this brilliant but flagless Saints era? And is Essendon the new #1 team in the AFL with Brendon Goddard at the helm? They're undefeated, the Bombers, and right now they're on track to stay that way. They lead by 31.
Etihad Stadium, it is the Bombers up against the Saints. The Bombers by the best part, well, 31 points in fact, 5 goals there. And Dempsey runs into the back of Ahmed Sard after that miss right on the halftime buzzer. A few jumping punches thrown. Moons loved it down at ringside. We'll call it ringside. And I have the absolute privilege now, as we look at the scores here, 36 plays, 67, 10 goals, 7 to the Bombers there. Davey with 2, Hurley also 2, Meister has 2, Watson and Hibbert have 17 apiece for the Bombers. And as I say, I have the privilege now of being joined by Australia's greatest ever spin bowler, Shane Warne, who loves the Saints more than anything else. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks, Derm. Good to be here.
Yeah, excellent. Not great to see the Saints going down at the moment, but I want to ask you about next Anzac Day. Next Thursday, you have a charity function. You do so much great work with the kids and the underprivileged of Australia. We can see here on the screen now, Anzac Day brunch at Crown Palladium, 10:30am start. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, it should be good. Obviously, Anzac Day is a huge day for all of us Australians, and the Shane Warne Foundation has raised nearly $7 million over around 9 years. We've helped out over 75 different children's charities. It's a day to get along with 2 of our board members, Essendon and Collingwood presidents. David Evans and Eddie Maguire will be there for a short time too. There'll be plenty of celebs. It should be a great morning to build up what's going to be a huge day too. And
I know we always say, tickets are going fast. There are very, very few tickets left. They're $250 a head. How can we get on there and get those? Which site do we go to, Warnie?
Yeah, the best one would probably be the foundation website. That's tswf.com.au. We are nearly sold out, which is fantastic. The foundation wouldn't survive without the likes of your help, with the public out there, the corporate world. We wouldn't survive if it wasn't for that, but we do a great job. We're pretty proud what we've been able to achieve and make significant difference to children and their families. But next Thursday, Anzac Day, should be a ripping event, and hopefully it's the start of a big relationship.
We all want to know. I mean, we all love our cricket, and we love seeing Shane Warne do what he does. Just how good were you at footy?
Well, I loved it. That's all I ever wanted to do. I loved pretending to be you at lots of times too, with my number 23 on the back. Me and my brother, we just absolutely loved that. That's all I ever wanted to do. Cricket, it was something we would rather be down the beach at summertime. So I love my footy. I'm passionate about the Saints, and I wasn't that good, mate. But I loved it.
What number did you wear at the Saints?
I was number 59 my first game in 1986.
And then forward pocket, full forward?
Full forward.
Yeah.
And then 87, 88, I was number 23.
How'd you get a few?
I got a few. I think, you'll have to check the record books, but I think I kicked around 60-odd goals one year in the 19s, so I was pretty happy with that, yeah.
And so you could play a little bit. The blokes I was speaking to said, Warney can play. He knows what he's doing. When you played in some of the games out here, the charity games, you knew where it was going. I don't think there's ever been any doubt Shane Warne could think his way through sport. So you love it, though. Hey, Dad Keith is here today.
Yep.
He's a Bomber supporter. Yep. How's that going down in the box?
Yeah, not good. It's predominantly Essendon too, so we're not that happy about that. But no, Mum and Dad are big Essendon supporters. I think that was one of the reasons as a kid I actually barracked for Hawthorn. And then when I went down to St Kilda in 86, I started barracking for the Saints. But so what's that, 27 years I've been a St Kilda supporter. So yeah, it's a bit of rivalry in the Warne household, but it's all good fun.
Just one for the cricketers. Shane Watson stood down from vice-captaincy today. Where do you see where are we at? We love cricket as much as you love footy.
How long we got, Derm? We haven't got that long, have we? Look, I think at the moment it's disappointing. Shane Watson's standing down. I have no idea what that's for. He obviously doesn't want to do it anymore and concentrate just on himself getting prepared. As vice-captain, you've got a big job to do to help out the captain and prepare the team. We're in a bit of trouble at the moment. We need some people to stand up. I think the Ashes will always bring out the best in Australian England players. So I think we'll have a good series. I think we could surprise England, but at this stage we might have to cop a little bit of pain, a bit like the Saints, Derm.
Well, who's in more pain at the moment, the Saints or the Aussies?
No, the Aussie cricketers are in more pain. The Saints will come back in the second half.
The Saints can come back. They've still got a chance. They've got a bit of work ahead of them, though. They're down by 31 points, trailing the Bombers. Thanks, Warnie. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Derm.
Welcome back to Etihad Stadium, and the Bombers are up by 31 points. And if you missed it, there was a little bit of a scuffle here at half-time. It got me very excited. The fun police have told me I needed to keep a little lid on it because I wanted to jump in there myself. It's a little bit of fun. But here we are next week on Thursday when we have the Anzac game. This is the jumper the St Kilda club will be wearing. It's by a Maori artist, renowned Maori artist known as Derek Laudali. Bit of a superstar over there, and look, this is what it's going to be. It's a fantastic design. If you look at the back here as well, we have a little stingray. It's got a football involved in it. So this is the jumper they'll be wearing next Thursday in a great game at Anzac Day over at Wellingham.
Thanks, Boons. What a fantastic day it will be. So both these teams involved, St Kilda and Sydney in New Zealand, and of course Essendon and Collingwood, the traditional Anzac Day game. Joe Watson, there's the plotting so far. Mark Rashido, talk us through this.
Well, he's had a great first half, just a stock standard one for Joe Watson, and at 17 disposals, as you can see, a lot of those in the middle of the ground. He's been involved in 7 or 8 score involvements as well. He's been involved in 4 goals. He's kicked one himself. Started up forward at the start of the game, which we found a little bit unusual, but probably trying to break the tag. And he's gone down there again to do the same thing. He is a very good player in the forward line because of his size and strength. Very, very hard to match up on, and he's down there for a reason, to kick goals and set them up, and he's done that already and had plenty of the ball again, the Brownlow medalist.
31-point margin to start this second half at a packed Etihad Stadium. Bell Chambers, Myers, Howlett couldn't break free with it. Talent out. McAvoy tried the underground handball. Jones ducked his head, got away with it. They need a break or two, the Saints. Montagna, Sard, he owes them a couple.
Play on, number 15.
Montagna, you heard the call, thumps it. Milne goes, Meister went late, and they collided, and it was an easy mark in the end.
They had no hope there, St Kilda. It was a poor kick. Kicking long to Milne is not a great option. Needed to find Rewald or Meister.
Cut off, Geary thought about playing on.
Sard's on.
He might feel he's just outside his range. Told to go now. Puts it to the hot spot. Rewald's there. 3 against him. Goddard! That was beautiful to watch.
Yep. He had no one on him. If he can just do that all day, he'd do that any day of the week. That's what he was very good at the Saints. But a poor kick to the forward 50 again by St Kilda.
Geary cuts it off Del Santo. And that's kind of the tale of his day and the Saints' day. They've had opportunities. Here's the mark again.
Here's Goddard coming, third man up on his own, and that's just like a training drill in the schoolyard. Derm, kick to kick.
The only thing that poor Nick Rewald didn't have on his back was a bag.
Yeah, he's antagonised them, Brendon Goddard, without actually trying to. He has had a reasonable afternoon.
Very static ahead of this footy here.
McAvoy, Stephen, Rewald.
Oh, beautiful.
That is super.
Well, that's a great catch, and you know that's what they need to do at the moment to take a mark inside 50. It was a slow entry. Essendon had numbers back, and instead of bombing it long like they had the last couple of times, he punched it in. And
it's the old rope-a-dope though, Ruby. I mean, the handball off suggests quick play, going to get 5 metres forward of the man on the mark. We're going to go long to the goal square, lead up, and it's the one time in these opening few minutes they've had a one-on-one. Admittedly, it was on the lead, and that's not a great kick.
Gee, that was for 2 in a row for the Saints, and was for 2 in a row for Rewald either side of half-time. And another hush falls over Etihad Stadium, full of disappointed St Kilda fans at this stage, but a lot of game to be played yet.
They've taken 8 marks inside forward 50, the Saints, and the Bombers have only taken 4. Rewald's taken 4 himself.
Gilbert tried to break free, Goddard came hard, left it behind. Armitage to Rewald. He couldn't kick that one, could he, after missing the last? Oh, straight through Trent Dennis-Lane's legs. Bagley on hands and knees. Milne lurking, it's what he likes! But he missed it.
Geez, they're just not using their opportunities, are they, Derm? I just had a look at those stats, Derm. You said that Essendon had 4 marks inside 50. They've got 4 goals from those marks inside 50s, and St Kilda have only got 2 from their 8.
Yeah.
Goddard, crunch, could have got a free. Zaharakis the crumb. Hocking, Stanton, Myers. And now it opens up. Dyson Heppel, Gilbert with him. Felt for contact. The battle of the hair. Zaharakis. A little too hot for Myers. Del Santo wrapped up. Montagna, Stephen. Hassled into it. Turned it over. Dyson Heppel flicks it back. Myers. Kick and hope. Hurling. He just wanted it more than anybody else.
One out, Joe Watson on Jones. He should be too good here.
Puts it to the advantage side. That's easy.
Called it early, Rube.
Well,
once he had time to steady up on the kick, there was separation from 34 other players on the field. He was never going to not be in the box seat.
You just wonder how someone didn't get back there to sit in front of it, really. Got to prepare, got to read that, got to see that happening.
Ran a wider arc, 2 on the chase there, Jones.
Too big, too strong, and too clever.
Have to fall over to miss this.
He leads them well.
Yeah, he's really impressive, Joe. He's obviously quite intelligent, but his ability to sum up situations, particularly with a young group, and the group being so young, they really look up to him because he's inspiration from the way he leads with his actions, and also the way he prepares his stuff off field and what he demands from his players.
Brendon Goddard on Jobe Watson, 3rd in the AFL for possessions after 3 rounds. #1 player in the comp last year, winning the Brownlow, of course, but he was in essence the #1 player in the comp the year before until he did his hamstring. 35 points the margin. From the restart, Bill Chambers, McAvoy. Hocking stripped of it by Jones. Del Santo tried to slip it out, Watson. And again, class wins out. A bounce pass, Courtney Dempsey. Myers. Melksham, got to be ball. Took an eternity to get that on his boot. Hayes, Fisher, Robertson, Hayes, gone. Dragged down by Howlett. Zaharakis, the sidestep. Gumbleton, it was 15 according to the umpire. Went for Bellchambers.
Oh no.
Outside of the boot. Oh, that's going to go. Across the face though. And a behind from Watson. Essendon made 6 changes at selection this week. They made another forced change before the bounce of this ball. Gumbleton in. Stuart Cramery out. And their depth is good. They have been very, very impressive. Rewalt tries to pluck it. Heppel, quick-fire handball, missed the target. Stephen. Trent Dennis-Lane and Carlisle. Jones tried to keep his feet. Carlisle hassled him out of it. Ball up.
Gee, blew the whistle quick on that one for a ball up. Well, once again, the umpire exercised his right at his discretion. He gave the ball carrier a little bit longer to get rid of the ball, and maybe not in all that great a fashion. Been hard to get a holding the ball adjudication today.
Montagna to Jones to Hayes to Rewalt. And now for Milne. Rewalt made it impossible for him.
He's got the yips with his kicking today, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Nick, he's working hard. He's quite often he's outmanned, but St Kilda as a team today haven't maximised their opportunities going forward or shots on goal.
What they have done in this third quarter, though, they are equal, 14 apiece with contested possessions. They were blown away in that area in the first half.
Watson feeds it back to Melksham. Pressured on the kick. Attacked well by Gilbert. He knew he was going to get tackled, but he still picked it up regardless. Doesn't get penalised.
You've got to let that go. The way they've been umpiring, that's consistent umpiring.
Yep.
And no prior opportunity there. He took a step and a half, but at that speed, Watson to Howlett.
Again.
Right on the boundary line mark taken by Gumbleton.
Well, Watson's flexing his muscles, boys. He's had 6 disposals in 8 minutes of this third quarter. And kicked 1 goal, 1.
Yeah. Bill Chambers got an arm knock free.
4 of those contested. I just reeling him off a bit more for Watson. He's on fire.
Gumbleton fumbled it. Now he's caught, gets it out just in time. Goddard. Little 1-2 with Bill Chambers. Hooker looks behind him. Saw there was no danger to Hill.
There's something behind him.
Everybody, it's good driver. Just looks in the rear vision mirror before he pulls out. Hill to half forward. Davey off hands. Merritt stole it from him.
Oops.
Oh, that's got to be a free kick for High. He was pursuing the ball. He did go into the legs of Simpkin.
It wasn't a dive. It wasn't the new
No,
roll.
I think he had the ball almost in possession. Good pluck early. Been impressive. To the goal square. This is getting to breaking strain right now for the Saints.
He should kick this one, and if he kicks it, it's big danger for a big total.
This is the goalpost bit, Derm. The right goalpost.
Take it out.
Watch Gumby thinking about the right goalpost here.
Got to kick a banana, won't he?
Oh, he is too. Oh, it comes out of the play then.
Gumbleton, steady as a rock.
Let's have a look at this again, the free kick. Dives in.
Had a look.
Had a look up there.
I thought that was supposed to be a free kick, Derm.
Gee.
I think he had possession and then fumbled it when he had a look, though.
Did he dive or did he
I'm with you,
fall
Moons.
over?
Well, I thought
Confused.
the whole thing was any time you hit, your knees went to ground and you made contact with the opposition below the knee, that it was a free kick.
Well, the Luke Hodge won adjudication last week. Hodge got to the ball first as well, and then the umpiring department said it was a free kick to... Oh, we have a look at where the Bombers kicked there. What
in the corridor,
goals?
isn't it, Derm? Very much in the corridor. Where you want to be having shots on goal from. Gee, look at the ruck work.
Watson feeds it back. Hill. Bagley. Dempsey. The gang tackle. He had no prior opportunity. Has to be a ball up. 42 points, the biggest margin of the game. The undefeated Bombers. A record membership. Came into this game with 50,000. It's going to grow after this performance. Malera toes it off the deck. Sard.
It's going to bounce poorly for him.
Milne needs to get onto the right. Bend it around. Brendon Goddard, Stevie. Keeps them alive.
He's still a classic with that type of play, isn't he? I was just worried for Saad then. The ball was going to give him a horrible bounce, make him keep his head over it, taking his eyes off the traffic there. He did well though. Once again, rather than opting for a straight run at the goal and a drop punt on the fly, turn sideways across the body.
Now they're going to try and get another one. They've been struggling to get two in a row all day. Quite often Essendon have gone straight back down the other end and got one themselves.
Jones and Stanton. Armitage in the back. Essendon free. Hurley,
look at that.
What a pass. Wants to play on quickly. Thought about it.
Well, Farron Ray peeled off and hugged the corridor. I don't know if he's the player you want to have sitting loose in defence.
Well, he got to the wrong spot, didn't he? Exactly. He couldn't get in between the ball and Hurley there.
Got 2 goals so far. He's 50-50 from there. It's coming back. It's marked on the goal line. Can you believe it? Gumbleton's plucked it.
It's a goal or a mark.
Well, we just said it, didn't we? They go straight back down and kick a goal themselves and undo all the good work of the Saints. Too good, aren't they, Essendon, at the moment?
Late inclusion. Stuart Cramer out, and he has done everything right so far.
What about the ball use going forward, boys? It's just been brilliant today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Those kicks to their forwards. Hurley's presenting well, but the kicking out in front is just perfect.
Well, Hurley's charge and attack at the footy has been wonderful. Probably, look, there's guys on the forward line who probably have a nicer return or maybe even bigger stats, but Hurley's probably the key forward on the ground who's made the whole package function best. The way he's run at the ball carrier, led up the field and accepted marks on the league.
He's had 8 grabs now, Hurley.
Yeah.
Kicked 2 goals and a couple of good crumbs as well, Derm.
42 points the margin. Hill flicks it down to Watson. Stanton heads wide with it, didn't want to, but that's where the right foot kick went. Not deliberate. It'll be a ball in.
We didn't mention anything about the defence back there of St Kilda to allow Gumbleton to take that mark, but Fisher was there, Stanley was there, and I think Robertson was there as well, so that's unacceptable, and Scott Waters wouldn't be happy with that.
And here they go again. Stanton to full forward. Fisher cuts it off.
One little thing, I'm just having a look at the St Kilda back line and try and work something out. Stanley's pace has been so good, but he's playing last line of defence because of the size and shape. His pace, it would be almost advantageous to try and get him onto a half-back flank or even a true centre half-back area so that if he gets the footy, he's going to run through the centre of the ground and utilise that pace to advantage.
Hooker to Davey, hocking a tactic, Gumbleton kicks it. Play on the call, Watson, look out, shrugs one tackle, shrugs a second tackle. He knew he got it high, he'll go back and have the shot.
Smart, very composed, knew he drew the free, thought, I'm not going to kick a banana from 50. I'm in good form, but I know I'm in that good a form.
Roo, how's the strength through the corner just to break 2 tackles the way he did then? You'd know about that, obviously.
Yeah, look, he was just charging through. When you're 90, 95 kilos and 6'2" like that, you've got to get the tackle perfect if you're going to stop him, and he just shrugged him off. too high anyway, but he would have shrugged him off.
4 years ago, he'd be looking to dish this off.
And he dishes off on cue for you, Doom. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Doom.
I was about to say, but he'll kick this.
Right, a wobbler, but it could be coming back. Myers tracks it down to the hot spot. Hocking's going to have to go. Everyone went bar Hurley. Stayed down, goals. This is salivating if you're an Essendon fan.
Well, here we say he gets trapped under the footy, makes a decision to stay away from the drop. So any spill that comes to him, not a natural crummer, but does it sufficiently there. And let's have a look, Roo, at where he has worked today. Michael Hurley on screen there. This is where his marks have been taken. So most of them outside 50 and a couple inside 50 there. I mean, that's a real good spread. That shows that he's worked right up and down the ground. Up and down the ground. He's had 10 score involvements, 10 goal involvements out of a team 14.
And 13 touches, so that's magnificent.
From the ball up. In third quarters this year, Essendon has kicked 23 goals to opposition 6. It's been their dominant quarter, including that amazing turnaround last week where they kicked a run of 7 in a row. Heppel toward the boundary. Zaharakis. They can smell some blood big time here. Howlett back inside 50. That's a free.
Oh, Jackie Chan.
He's kicked him out of the contest. Farron Ray heads wide. Malera.
He's coming to you, Moons.
Hardly seen the Sharon. Malera to Ray.
Oh, Early's injured, is he?
It's a left knee down here, boys. He's clutching at it. Doesn't look too flash down here at the moment, boys.
Keep an eye on that.
Can't put any pressure on it.
Stephen tries to break through Myers. Just in time, Malera. Boy, does he owe him.
Sure does.
They have missed 4 or 5 simple goals today, St Kilda. You're not going to win against a good side if you miss them.
Hey, he's in a bit of pain here, Moons. Let's have a look at it.
I think he'd already done it at this point.
So he did it on the leap attempt, do you think?
It looked like he was already in pain before he went for that.
Labouring up to the contest.
To the wing. Hill tries to run it down, but all eyes here on Hurley, and he is in a lot of pain. He's in a world of hurt. Have a look at him.
Well, they're taking the boot off, so...
Keep the meter, boys.
Does that mean more ankle, or...?
You would think so.
And it's not normally that amount of pain if you do a knee ligament.
Well, when we get another break, we'll have a look at it and try and have a look at the ankle. I was looking for the knee movement in the contest there, but we might get another look at it when possible and see if the ankle rolls or does anything peculiar.
It's been some big comebacks this year. Cats came back from 41 down. Last week, the Bombers themselves came back from 37 down. Bit of time left in this, and if Hurley's hurt, can't come back on, I need to use their sub and be a man down. Watson inside 50, but they've got the options. Gumbleton from out of nowhere again.
Well, Dwayne, the sub's been made already. Dwindlick is coming on, so they're taking no chances whatsoever. They're just going to sub him straight out. But, yeah, like you said, boys, he's in a fair bit of pain down here. And it does look like they're strapping his left ankle.
Boys, they've dropped down to 48% kicking efficiency, whereas they were number 1 in the league hitting the target coming into this game.
He's got 3 for the quarter.
Let's have a look at this on the top right.
Yeah, it's ankle.
Oh, okay, so he's rolled it there. He's trod on his foot, perhaps.
And good news, I think it's the lateral side as well. So with ankles, when you roll that direction, you can get them back pretty quickly. You know, if it's not too bad, he should play next week. As you can see,
he's rolled it. Yep.
If you roll it the other way, so the medial side, you're probably out for 3 weeks. So hopefully he hasn't done the ligaments badly and he should be fine to play next week.
I'm thinking a little bit scurrilous here, Moons, but go out to that spot at 3/4 time and see if there's a sprinkler head or a hole in the ground there.
Will do, mate.
From the ball up, they have put the foot down big time, the Bombers.
He's going to have 40 touches, Job, the way he's going. Seriously, he's had 12 for the quarter.
Make that 13. High tackle, it won't count.
And hits the target.
53 points the margin. Last time these two teams met, and they only met once last year, St Kilda won by 71. What a transformation in the fortunes of these two. Inside 50, off some hands. Gilbert to Jones. Everything they do, the Saints is under pressure. Del Santo. Saad.
Bad bounce again.
Watson. Davey. Dyson Heppel. They're lining up. Stand start, Howland. Stanton, goal square. Beaten for it by Robertson.
3 metres. Play on. Thanks, Brent.
To right, to Robertson. In the Geary direction. Made him work.
And moves the sub. Ross has come in for Malira's gone out. Yep.
Still just checking on that one, sorry, Derm, but it looks like he has. Yeah, he does have the best over here, Malira. You're right. And Winderlick has just come on for his first run, boys.
Nick Rewalt. He wants Meister. Milne waiting at the foot. And Bagley just made it his. That was Milne's man.
Well,
he's hurt an ankle.
Oh, he can't put the heel down.
Not an Achilles, is it?
Calf.
Okay.
A cramp in the calf.
Good. Hibbard. They have worked so hard, the Bombers, to get into a position where they lead by 53. And here he is. Huge round of applause. Jason Winderlick, first game of 2013.
That's a push.
Pushing the back, David Hill free kick.
Just 53 is too much from here. You hope they make a show of it. But you know, St Kilda have picked a team to run, and you'd hope that they run this game out pretty well. But at the moment, we've got a couple of Bombers going down, a couple of Bombers with starting to see cramp. It's too much, a 9-goal margin to eat into.
You can just see Essendon now, though, Derby, just keeping control of the ball.
Tempo, yeah.
Tempo footy. They'll do this for the rest of the quarter, you'd think.
Zaharakis puts it up. Where's Gumbelin? Couldn't mark this one for the first time in a while. Simpkin.
Play on.
Slapped out by McAvoy. First touch for Ross. Slick hands. Del Santo. Jones. Too high, surely. Free kick to Trent Dennis-Lane. Gives it off to Montagna. Open space ahead. Floats it up. Meister, can he get there? Not quite.
See, with the better kick, that's Meister's easy. Let's have a look at a bit of a head clash here. Bang!
Ooh, right in the cheekbone. He's a hard unit, Howlett.
Bill Chambers slaps it down. Stolen. Trent Dennis-Lane. That's what they bought him for. Kick goals like that. Give them a sniff.
Well, they just got to work back into it one by one, don't they, Doom? You said 9 goals is a long way to come back, and prior to that goal, they hadn't really looked like making a dent on the scoreboard in this quarter. That was only their second goal for the quarter. St Kilda have got 5. Reid here. Gee, it looked like he was almost referring as if something had been snapped.
A separation, yeah.
Hopefully not.
Well, they claw back to 47 points. They picked a running team this evening. Malira out. Not his best game. Saad probably consider himself lucky not to be in Malira's red shirt at the moment.
Ross attacks it, scooped it away. Courtney Dempsey wrapped up.
Well done, boys.
Quick fire whistle from umpire Ray Chamberlain. Ball up.
Cheers, mate. Fine there.
Quickly tosses in the air. Del Santo gang tackled again. No Pryor. Another ball up.
Watson leading everyone at this stage. 31 touches and 2 goals. Not bad for just under 3 quarters.
Play on.
Myers.
Teammate.
20 players around this ball. Hocking scrambles it clear. Winderlick. Hill. Here's the build up again. Goddard. Crunch. Took a couple down with him. Fisher to Jones.
Oh, got to hit the target.
Rewalt back pocket. Simpkin looks hurt. Elbow.
It was a hard hit.
Jones. So they're playing a man down right now, the Saints. Simpkin in the hands of trainers. Robertson, Fisher, Montagna. Back to Fisher.
They've got a bit of run generated here now.
Right. Caught. Play on advantage. Meister. Rewalt's worked all the way back to full forward, but it wasn't to his advantage. Bagley takes an easy mark.
That's 2 inside 50 entrances in a row which have been kicked to the advantage of the opposition.
Stanton to Bell Chambers. Play on advantage.
Hands on the back.
Oh, he turned. That's what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
This is astounding.
You, hands in the back, your free kick.
No, that's it. And Gilbert didn't think it was his. Gilbert thought the free was against him.
Ray's just got a bit pedantic there, and to the letter of the law, he's probably right, but we have not seen that judged in that fashion before.
Saints need something going their way. In the lead up to three-quarter time, 2 minutes 27 left. They've kicked the last goal of this game. Can they get some momentum going?
See, it looks, turns to the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that's...
He's a bit stiff because he turned right at the last minute, didn't he? Didn't have his eye on the ball at all, Gilbert, until the last second.
He's well stiff.
Start now. Thanks, Rick.
Letter of the law was a good way of putting it there, Dan.
Fine there, fine there.
Hill. First game back's been okay. Hayes caught high.
On the man, Lenny Hayes.
So maybe too far out to score. Can he hit a chest?
He could in the grand final, but
A lot of space in front.
Rewalt's on the move. Gets there. And do we know the trials and tribulations of Nick Rewalt's kicking over time? He's been up, he's been down, he's been both in this game.
It'd be 50-50 from here at the moment, unfortunately, Nick, but I hope he can kick it. I hope he kicks it for his sake, because he's worked so hard. You saw him banging in the back pocket 1 minute, then he was right at full forward the next. He deserves a goal. He's been working hard and presenting. Come on, Nick.
That's good.
Well, and he gets the crowd back into it at least. 2 goals in a row, St Kilda. 1 minute 23 left to three-quarter time.
Well, the Bombers have kicked 9-2 from their set shots, so they're operating between 85 to 90% from set shots. The Saints, 4-4, and a couple of complete scungers that didn't register anything, so a very fortunate 50% that we can record. Probably lower than that. That one helps. Back to 41. Was 53 a couple of minutes ago. That's how they hurt them. 11-4 from turnovers, the Bombers.
Hill in the ruck. Watson ridden, still got a kick away somehow. Marked his own kick.
Tackle.
Good tackle. Yep. Play on advantage. Stephen. Hayes. Jones.
Is he running all right now, Dwayne?
Rewalt's down there. He was grabbed. Rewalt still grabbed it.
Oh, no.
And another disastrous kick. Although it bounces the right way.
I believe that's a goal, but can we check to see if he touched that, please? Okay.
Daggers. Check.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't touched.
Score review. Can you please check? We believe it's a goal, but can you please check if the ball's touched?
Yeah, mile off.
Yep, miles off. That's a goal. Already we've seen the foot pace to get to Watson on the outside. The run that's going past from St Kilda. That running team they've chosen has actually lifted in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
And we spoke before about how hard it is to tackle Joe Watson. Well, this quarter, St Kilda 19-8 in favour of them for the tackle. So a very important indicator, given that Essendon have been the best in the competition this year at tackling. And well done, Nick Rewald. It didn't look like he kicked it at all well.
No, he didn't.
But he didn't shank it by any stretch. It was probably a 90% kick.
But it's a good miss.
Well, it was a good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, but he's missed the way he wanted to kick it.
Well done,
Great
Nick.
result. Jobe's had 9 contested possessions this quarter from 15 in total.
35 points the margin. 40 seconds left to three-quarter time, and the Saints have a run-on for the first time in this game.
It's a true run-on too. They're getting a bit of generated run from their half-back line.
And the Bombers are a man down with Hurley done for the day. Hooker takes a saving mark. The Cats, we know earlier this season, came from 41 down. Last week, the Bombers came from 37 down. The margin here right now, 35. 20 seconds left. Maybe time enough for another late Saints score. Fisher needs to play on. Dalsano needs to kick it. They need a mark from this kick forward, and they won't get it.
McAvoy's on.
All too late, though. Three-quarter time here at Etihad Stadium.
What they have done is get a bit of run through the lines now in the last few minutes. It'll be interesting. Hey, Moons, just quickly for 10 seconds, they started to get a bit of run through the lines then. Game's gone out. Well, the Saints have struck back with a couple of goals late in that quarter, Dwayne, and started to make a real game of it again.
I wouldn't be going too far just yet. 35 points the lead for the Bombers, but they did lead by 53. Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. Three-quarter time, and the story so far, it was all about Brendon Goddard before the bounce and straight after the bounce. He was the star of the show, and the locals got a little restless with their old superstar turning it on for his new team. Courtney Dempsey a bomb. And at quarter time, the margin was 18 points in favour of the Bombers. And they just kept on going. Davey a miracle. At half-time, the margin was 31 points. And tempers started to flare. Third term, all the Bombers. Jobe Watson, superstar performance. 15 possessions for the term. But on the downside, Hurley rolled an ankle, and he is done for the afternoon. They opened up a 53-point lead, the Bombers. But the Saints hit back late. They kicked the last 3 goals of the game, and it's 35 points the margin at three-quarter time, 98-63. Cam Mooney on the boundary.
Yeah, Dwayne, look, we just saw the footage there of Hurley, and look, we know it's his left ankle and he's on the crutches now. He's obviously not going to take any part of the game. But look, the great thing about tonight is Scotty Gumbleton has stepped up, kicked 3 goals himself. They know that young Danaher in the reserves is playing pretty well as well, coming into the side. But look, here he is right here on the crutches. I just went past him a little bit early and just said, are you okay? And he gave me the thumbs up. He said he might be okay for next week. It was obviously a bit of a stinger. So it's going to be interesting, Derm. But look, only 6 goals in it here, guys. And we know St. Kilda got a bit of a run on then. This is definitely game on. But Dermy, how do you think this is going to impact them, the Bombers going forward, mate?
Yeah, look, he's vital to their setup. What did we have? He had 10 direct goal involvements. But he's been on Stanley and also that man, Fisher. Now, Fisher's been very good. He's always been good in his career running offensively forward out of the back line. He's had 9 intercept possessions, Roo.
Yep.
Now, that's where he's been getting those intercept possessions without a gun forward to play against, where he's always saying, can I go? Do I need to cover? With a lesser forward now, he's going to go, I'll take the risk, I'll go.
Yep.
They've got to roll the dice anyway. They're down by 35 points, but it frees up his mind to say, I'm going to be 75% offensive out of the back line now. He's got Gumbleton. Gumbleton needs to hurt him going the other way.
And what they've done now, what it allows is Reece Stanley to get out of the back line. He's gone into the ruck. McAvoy's gone forward. They're trying to stretch him forward. They need to win the clearances, get it down there and try and get some goals straight away.
And Dwayne, for the first time in this game, the Saints actually had more handball receives in the third quarter than Essendon.
That's what they don't want when they've got 3 big tools in their forward line.
Hooker saving mark, heads to Hibberd. So 6 goals, 30 minutes. That's the equation.
So it's just a tiny little sign that St. Kilda turned the run to their advantage in that third quarter.
It's critical, Derm, they win the clearances here and give their midfielders a chance.
Just ripped it out of the air in the end. Bell Chambers to half forward Gumbleton. Did he have an arm held? You bet he did.
Don't hold.
One-on-one's the forward of the ball.
So Davies down there, full forward. Geary, big fist. Stanley needs to show some poise here and didn't. Gumbleton, Heppel spoil each other. A break for the Bombers.
Good. Well done, McAvoy.
McAvoy gets there for the Saints. Caught. Could have been ball.
Umpire wasn't in the right position, was he?
Stephen.
Good release.
Hayes. Jones. Too wide for Meister.
Well, Reece Stanley is a real athlete. He's got fresh legs. He's been sitting down in the back line, so he needs to run and provide some options through the middle of the ground here, the young fella.
Both teams have used their sub. If you just joined us, Hurley off with that ankle, and Malera subbed out for the Saints. Half forward, Bell Chambers. It's been a tower of strength.
It's not good enough.
Move it on.
Don't hold.
Shoot.
Floats it up. Goddard stays down and almost stayed down to the right spot.
Gee, he's improved, Bell Chambers, hasn't he? He's just going into that zone now. He's big, he's strong, he's ready to be one of the better ruckmen in the competition.
Beaten forward this time. Armitage has been a little quieter this week than last week to Jones. Back to Armitage.
They're on out the other side.
Okay, Ray can get and go. He's got Geary if he wants him short. And he wants him. He's got Rewalt long if he wants him. He's on the move, Rewalt, in a good spot.
See, that kick's a poor kick.
Saad tries to cut it off and knock it on.
If you're going to miss, it's like golf. You can't miss to the low side of the cup. You're never a chance on the low side of the cup. If you're going to miss, you miss out in front, way out in front. At least let him run onto it.
Blighty used to call that the dumb side.
Is that, honestly? Yep. Oh, well, that's a great description.
In Goddard we trusted. The sign hangs over the fence here at Etihad Stadium. It was all about Brendon Goddard in the lead up to this game. His first game against his old team. 205 games for the Saints. A life member of the Saints.
That's a great third man up.
Yeah, it is.
Right now the Saints fighting back without him. It's a big moment in their year for the Saints. They did win their first game last week, but it was only against Greater Western Sydney. Maybe a little bit of fool's gold. Back into play, Bell Chambers to Hooker. That's got to be ball. He threw that away. It wasn't a handball.
They've been very lenient on that. Well, at least they've been consistent.
Armitage knows.
1 metre bang! 1 metre bang!
McAvoy and Bell Chambers. Watson. Left it for Heppel. Milne steals it. Pumps it back. And only behind. Quiet at the office for Stevie Milne. He kicked 5 goals the last time these two teams met. He grabbed himself a Brownlow vote, but so much has changed since then. Saints won that by 71. They're currently trailing this by 34. Stanton. Hocking. Heppel.
Bell Chambers is on in the middle.
Up and got it. Feeds it on. Goddard squeezes the kick, hoping for Davey. Knocked it to Hibbard's advantage, couldn't get it on the boot. Gilbert, turnover. Merritt gave it up to Hibbard, he couldn't break free. Ross.
Good boy.
Fresh man, he's the sub.
Look out.
Got it to half forward. Saad got there. He waited down. Handball terrible, but it might come off. Ross again. Flicks it wide. Jones sees Armitage. Can he hit him? No. Yes. No. Bagley runs it down. Back pocket.
Oh, that's going to be questionable. Oh, he had the tackler there. All right, got the benefit of the doubt. Once again, though, you saw the extra run, the little bit of the extra man fitness in the legs.
You can feel they're not out of it. The crowd know it. They haven't moved. The Saint portion of the crowd stuck around to see what they've got in the next couple of minutes. Jones heads wide. Armitage keeps it alive. Caught. Dropped the tackle. Ducked out of it. Too high.
You've actually, now the Essendon people will be screaming about this. If you lay the tackle and he breaks it and then moves on, it doesn't count like a bank account of tackles against you. You actually, it's only the individual tackle at the time.
Dermy, this is that goal post. Oh, here we go. He's dished it off because of it.
Gives it off to Milne. This might work. It's high. Goal square.
Take Pears.
Tate Pears
All
ball.
right, Mark, see you put his hand. Here, Tate. Take your nick.
And a hush falls over Etihad Stadium again. McAvoy Used his body. Wright couldn't mark it. Ross scoops it up. Del Santo. Stephen. Kickable by his standards, but he sprays it.
Jeff, do you want to chop?
Boys, at three-quarter time, we spoke about one area they got on top for the first time in the game was handball receives. In this last quarter, it's 11-1 in handball receives. They are running hard, the Saints.
Melksham from 4 deep. A little overzealous.
He didn't actually ride the opposition player.
He actually jumped on his own man there, Derv, so I don't think that was really a free kick.
Yeah, friendly fire should play on.
Reasonable point. Gumbleton. Davey. Goddard, and now they peel to the open side. Crutch. Simpkin dragged hooker down. Jones to the square. Rewald's down there. Couldn't take the mark.
He is genuinely hard, that boy Simpkin.
They've got to get some scoreboard results out of this rush. It's 6-2 in the inside 50s, and they've got 3 points to show for it. They've got to convert. They haven't been able to do it all day. If they're going to win, they need to kick goals, not points.
Goddard to the booze.
Third possession for Goddard. Just in that back 40-metre area from goal.
Bagley to Carlisle. Stanton ran for him. Hooker back to Stanton. Courtney Dempsey. Sard tunnelled him. That was a poor move by Sard.
Well, that was the half-time blue that started between these two as well.
Hop up. Let go. Let go. Let go.
Dempsey started the one at half-time, and Sard took the opportunity to give him half a cheap one.
Didn't go behind the mark. Umpire allowed him to go. Carlisle back to Goddard, to more booze. Gumbleton's forward, lurking, back of the pack. Saints have got the numbers. Stanley content to let this roll through.
To me, Stanley is the one.
Stanton! Not the third grab. Handball too strong for Stephen. Hibbert, a sidestep, runs inside 50 and he can't bend it back enough.
Well, Stanley gets to reload with the ball from full back again now, but Stanley's the one who has that cut-through pace. If they take him, that's a genuine tunnelling action.
Yeah, entitled to be a bit angry there, Dempsey.
If you just joined us, the Saints have kicked the last 3 goals of this game. They've got momentum, but they're still 34 down. Short pass through Meister. Good tackle, no prior opportunity.
And he's back.
And he's back.
See, the momentum is with the Saints at the moment. They're winning the clearances in this quarter as well, 4-1. They're winning everywhere except on the scoreboard.
They just like a touch of foot class forward to the centre.
Winderlick to Pearce to Melksham. Back to Winderlick. Gumbleton out of side. Oh, too strong. Hands it off. Howlett with some pace. Keeps it low. There's the momentum changer.
Yep. That's what happens. You don't take the most of your opportunities. The good sides go and make you pay. Gumbleton, he's taken some marks today, Doom. Just have a check how many he's taken. I think he took 5 or 6 in that third quarter. 9, is it? Well, wouldn't have been too many times he's taken more than that in one game, I don't think. But he's had sticky fingers today, the big fella.
Milne's gone for the pressure point.
He was just giving him a face massage, wasn't he, Doom? That's all right.
I think he was trying to extract the tooth.
10th mark to Gumbleton now, moves with that one then. So, yeah, good day at the office. And he grasped a couple of simple ones early. Once he worked into form, he's got it happening.
Montagne's kick scrambles. Trent Dennis Lane, Hayes, they run into each other. Jones, Dennis Lane, Montagne, Farron Ray, Stanton, good use of the body and the hands. And 50. And it might unravel quickly again for the Saints.
Well, they had a crack for 10 minutes, didn't they? But all of a sudden it's a 40-point margin.
Yeah, you've got to get a result though, Roo.
Exactly.
Stanton long. Huge leap. This time it's Bill Chambers.
He looks good up forward, doesn't he, Doom?
Yeah, he actually sees the ball pretty early in flight.
And he's a very big unit to be trying to get up and punch it.
The way the game's played, forwards run to the back line, give coverage, and they, make an 18-man back line on various occasions. If you can get away without having to run him up the field, and you can have him like that where he can circulate close to goal, see the ball coming long, and just use that huge reach, he's going to be quite a weapon in front of goals.
And right now, they are a juggernaut, the Bombers. They made 6 changes at selection.
Let's have a look at this, Farron Road. Slap, slap, slap. The mark's taken. It's not against Farron Road.
Gee, is that the letter of the law again, Derm?
Yeah, I dare say that's against David Armitage when he's in the protected zone and didn't try and leave it with any urgency.
Don't know if we need to be given 50-metre penalties for things like that, but they're the rules. Maybe we need to change it.
Again?
Oh, well, should that be 50 metres? Seriously. I don't like 50s.
Don't mess with the rule.
Want to bring back the 15 for small ones, Roo?
Well, did it impede his play or?
Hibbert sidesteps, heads long to half forward. Stanton. They are putting their foot firmly on St Kilda's throat right now. Inside 50, Gumbleton this time. Well, if one doesn't get you, the other one will. They've got them both forward.
He's found some grippo or something since quarter time, Dan.
Yeah.
Did you used to use that stuff?
Yeah. I used so much of it when you shook hands with your opponent after the game, I couldn't let him go. I had to walk to the aftermatch with him. I reckon the hardest thing is getting it, Roo, not letting go of your opponent.
Kick 3. Still kick 3.
11 marks. Scotty Gumbleton.
5 or 6 of those inside 50, Derb.
Good stretch, isn't he? He's a big lad.
Gilbert to Stephen. Rewalt and Carlisle. Rewalt used his hands.
And that's just the pressure that is for spots at Essendon. When blokes are coming in, they're really playing good footy. It's a good sign when you got depth like that.
It's a good sign that Carlisle hasn't really missed Dustin Fletcher, because he's going to have to get used to it. Dustin Fletcher probably only has, 7 years left?
Yeah, 7 or 8.
Watson at half back. His third quarter was close to perfect. Straight through Hill. Keeps it alive. Davey tucked into the pocket. He might go for it from there. Sizes it up. This is
165 contested possessions to 114.
Yeah.
It's a big differential.
Simpkin. Almost cut off. Stolen back by Wright. Game 2's been tougher than game 1 for him.
Play on.
Milne at the back. Meister slaps it on. And again, just like the grand final, it doesn't bounce for Milne to the booze.
Let's have a look at this boundary line throw in here. See the numbers around it.
No ruckman.
Yep. They've still got an extra number though, the Bombers.
There's the forward efficiency numbers. Del Santo tries to scramble it forward. It's a little misleading, the numbers coming into round 3. You've got to take them with a grain of salt, because some teams have played teams like GWS and Melbourne. Other teams like, say, North Melbourne have played Collingwood, Geelong and Sydney. So the numbers heading into this round for some teams were very, very misleading. And for some individuals as well.
Dermy, I'm going to ask you to put your coach's hat on here. You got Hurley, Gumbleton, Ryder, Bell Chambers and Hill. All very good tools, all goal kickers. But you can't have them all in though, can you?
Well, it looks like Hurley might have a little bit of an enforced day, but to me, Hurley's the number 1 bloke I want on my forward line. Bell Chambers is the bloke you swing through there to exploit the opposition's, I suppose, deficiencies. Ryder's your second ruckman who can play down there as a genuine key forward, and the rest have to fight their way in and do what what Gumbleton's doing now, I reckon, means he's got to take his opportunities like this and take his 11 grab games or more, where he takes 11 marks like this. He's got to force his way in there now.
They might have to bring in the rotation policy, Derm. It's worked so well for the cricketers.
Well,
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
well, they're going to have to use the rotation, I would say, next week. We saw Hurley come off it. It doesn't look like he'll step up straight away.
And that's a massive game next week. Anzac Day, think of this. It's the Bombers, the undefeated Bombers, up against Collingwood, who smashed Richmond today. Ball to the back, Sard. Story of his day, he nearly fumbled it and messed it up. Anzac Day, this Thursday, you'll see it all live and in high definition on Fox Footy at break free, siren to siren, the double header, St Kilda Sydney from New Zealand, followed by Essendon Collingwood at the MCG. Thursday looks like being one of football's great days.
Just looking at Ahmed on that goal there. For a bloke 175 centimetres, a small crumbing forward, wonderful set shot as a rule. He's fumbled a lot below his knees today, and you would think somebody playing league football at 175 should be a one-touch genius below their knees.
Yeah,
I mean, the lad can play. He's had an off day, but that should be bread and butter, that type of goal, without any fear of, he's going to fumble it over the line.
Saw James Hird on screen. We're hoping to have a chat to him post-game. 42 points the margin. Biggest margin of the game was 53. Dyson Heppel.
A good throw.
And they still could threaten the 53. Simka to fumble. Mops up that little mess, although turns it over again. Bagley caught high. Heppel, play on advantage. Watson. Hocking. Zaharakis, they're queuing up here. Stanton from 45. It's party time.
Sure is. And Stanton's joining in the party. He's now up to 27 disposals. Heppel's had 27. Watson is just taking the foot right off the accelerator. He's just cruising with 34 at the moment. But Stanton's had 27 and 2 goals and just worked his way into the game quite nicely.
$46,965 here at Etihad Stadium. A massive crowd for this, and the Bombers should get the points, and they've been led by a couple of their key forwards, Hurley, Early and Gumbleton's third term, 3 goals with outstanding term.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for a bloke who's been around, played his first game in 2007, this is only his 29th game. It's not as if he hasn't really hung in. Gumbleton, 29th game since 2007. So his opportunity is now. He gets a chance on a massive stage next week in what we anticipate will be the absence of Hurley.
He was picked 2 in the draft back in 2006. Been a long time coming, but he might have been worth the wait. Stanton. We're ticking into time on this final term. McAvoy.
Well, Justin Westhoff's 26-27 at Port Adelaide, and he's looks like he's finally starting to play some top-level consistent footy.
Bit of a difference with the expectation. Justin Westhoff picked 71. Gumbleton picked 2.
At the same time, he has shown some sparkling footy
early on.
No, I'm with you there.
Probably more than Gumbleton.
Absolutely.
But he's strung together matches. Gumbleton's body has not allowed him to get out there, so we don't really know what Gumbleton's capable of.
Hooker. Montagna.
Clever toe poke.
Stephen Montagna caught by Merritt.
Well, they haven't called that one all day, so good umpiring.
Hooker's done a groin down here, boys. That was the reason of the kick.
That's terrible news. We'll keep an eye on that with you, Cameron Mooney, on the boundary. Fisher, short pass. Ross.
He's coming off now, Dwayne. He doesn't look too good at all.
They might be better off just playing with 16 or 15 men the last 5 minutes, the Bombers. Short week for them. Short week for the Saints, obviously, as well. Both teams have to play Thursday. Gumbleton. He's got Winderlick peeling for him. He ignores that. That'll be 50. Gumbleton will line up for number 4.
Don't you want to watch us staggers, are you? He just wrote the time down.
A little bit of that aggro talks going on behind play at the other end of the ground.
Some frayed nerves with Well, keep an eye on this hooker on the boundary, and behind play there's been a huge push and shove. Montagna, Ross, Carlisle have all been in it. And there you go, Sard with the rip jumper. In the meantime, Gumbleton is pushing for best on ground honours. He's got 4.
This game I've seen him play, 18 disposals, 12 grabs, 4 goal 2. Well done. Good work.
I thought he was in for a dirty display early on when he grasped a couple, but gee, once he found his range, he's been really solid.
And look at the smile on Hurley's face. Hurley's injured, gone for the day, and he's still cheering his teammate on. Here's the push and shove behind play, by the way.
There's Hibbert, that Frankston boy just turfs him out. This had the potential, Moons, to get a little bit ugly down there just then.
Well, as you know, Darren, when things aren't going your way, you think there's only one thing we can really do. It might be go the knuckle. Just never know.
When in doubt, fight.
Yeah, we're stuck in the 60s? No, maybe not. Lenny Hayes breaks free. 54 points the margin, by the way, the biggest margin of the game right now. Saar bends it around the body. Well, that's a pretty good answer, although it's still 48 points the difference.
Yep, he needs to do more of that and less of the fighting at the moment, doesn't he? But as Derm said before, hasn't had a great day. He's got 2-2 now. Really he should have had 4, shouldn't he? The ones he's missed and the crumb before that he missed altogether and didn't even get boot to it. But,
I reckon that where his jumper is at the moment, we have a look at this. It's a little bit nothing going on there. One of my ex-teammates, Robert Dippy, here in America, I reckon he would have loved his jumper to get ripped open like that. And he'd be half dirty. You're not allowed to wear a gold chain while playing.
So here's the groin that Cam Mooney was talking about with Cale Hooker.
Oh,
is it cramp or?
Let's hope it's cramp.
He's getting a lot of work on his adductors and hamstrings, so might just be real tight around the pelvis.
Courtney Dempsey felt for the tackle, no prior opportunity there.
In the back, you've ended up in his
gets
back.
a free for in the back. 2013, you must tackle correctly.
And it's almost impossible to get a hold in the ball today.
Hey, Dermy, just a quick one on Hooker. It was just a cramp in the groin. He says he's okay.
Okay, good news. Cam Mooney on the boundary line. Myers. Been an entertaining game. It's a lopsided scoreline right now, but the crowd have been into it. The whole Goddard story in the lead up. And the Bombers will be undefeated after 4 rounds in 2013. Del Santo pokes it towards goal, a nothing kick with a nothing result.
Gee, we're 4 and a bit rounds, a bit into the 4th round of league footy this year. We're getting a lot of final scores 120 points or more, which is a rarity coming into the last few seasons. Scoring more freely.
Jones used his body on Watson. Gilbert worried out of it by Hocking, who jumped for the line.
He got a touch.
Deliberate.
So he thought that was a touchdown, didn't he?
Yeah. That was a try.
Ray, I've gone through.
Thank you, great.
Well, pretty tough kick for a left footer here.
Gilbert getting some advice from the fans.
What are you doing, Sammy?
Some good, some bad.
Look at the ball, mate, not the goals.
Geez, made a
Not
good
bad.
fist of it. That's out of this world.
Well done.
Had some good goals today, Duano, and that was one of them. Didn't really look like he knew what he wanted to do, even if as he was going in to kick it. But it's a little bit late, but
Let's have a look at the Hocking
never.
try here. Yes. Hello to the Melbourne Storm boys as well. They love their footy. They come along to the AFL on their days off as well. Some of them support the Saints.
Got to take your hat off to the Bombers, though. There's no doubt whatsoever they've been unified by this crisis. It's been an emotion-charged start to 2013 for the Bombers. Pressure of not knowing the outcome of the investigation. And it could go for a few more months yet. But in the meantime, on-field has been their sanctuary. They have turned it on big time again today. They might have run out of legs in the last few minutes. But they put paid to the Saints early in this game. Fantastic tackle by Tate Pearce. First game for 2013. And he showing they've got depth as well.
Well, Derm, there's you holding the ball.
I was just thinking that as he went to ground there. He was too much on the run and couldn't throw the ball onto the boot because he's being slung sideways. So he thought he'd disguise it by taking it all the way to the deck, and the umpire was having no part of it. You know, if you actually try and throw that on the boot, you're a chance of rolling an ankle.
Winderlick short, missed Davey. Ball to the back. Bell Chambers, Courtney Dempsey kicked a ripper early. Can't nail that one, but it's all incidental. It does mean percentage for the Bombers, but their percentage is simply awesome right now anyway. They came into this game with over 200%, and they will be top of the ladder again tonight.
Having played Melbourne in previous weeks will help you in that area.
They have won over some quality. Adelaide in round one. Adelaide finished third last year. And then Fremantle last week. And not just any old win over Fremantle. They came from 37 down.
They're contenders. They're genuine contenders, I think. I don't see a weak link in their side at the moment. Just got to stay fit.
Stephen, short.
And play for a full season, which they haven't been able to do for a number of years under James Hird.
And as one era ends perhaps for the Saints, the sun fading on a brilliant but flagless era perhaps for the Saints and for some of their stars like Nick Rewalt, Lenny Hayes, maybe their chance of a premiership has slipped by. Another era might be just beginning. Is this the James Hird Essendon era people have been hanging out for such a long time? Trent Dennis-Lane, a fantastic goal against the flow.
Well, they're kicking him now. They couldn't kick him in the first half, and I guess sometimes when the pressure's off you can relax and kick through it a bit more, but massive day next week though, isn't it? Now Essendon just got rolled by that 1 point last year in the thrill. I think that was the only game they lost in the first 9. The scene is set for Essendon to turn the tables, isn't it, this year with the way they're going about it. Collingwood are in pretty good form, and Essendon probably one of the form sides of the competition.
Had the privilege of playing in the very first ever Anzac Day game back in 1995, which turned out a draw, which half created the occasion and the aura. It is an absolute privilege to play in those games, a privilege to even be in attendance these days. I mean, they just, regardless of where they are on the ladder, they just bring out the best in each other.
Ball rolls to the back. Goddard. Well, this would be a fitting end if Goddard stole it in goal. He couldn't quite there. Simpkin ripped it from him. Geary, Armitage, bumped by Myers on the kick. Milne can't grab it. Zaharakis slips it to Watson. Called to go Myers. 54 seconds remaining. Long, Gumbleton in the pocket. Hill plucked it from Gumbleton. Trying to make his own statement. David Hill back into the team this week. First game for 2013. It's his 194th career game. And he wants to hit 200 and hit it in a hurry. He's been in the wilderness a little. But with Paddy Ryder out, has made the most of his opportunities. It's the post. But it's been a good return for David Hill. And the three Tools have had a splendid afternoon. Robertson heads wide. El Santo. I know the majority of the 46,965 here are Saints fans. It is a St Kilda home game, but you'll still hear an almighty roar coming up here in a couple of seconds' time. The Bomber faithful have stuck with their boys through thick and thin. They brought the stand by Hird signs. Goddard against his old club was the big build-up. But really it was a 4-zip start and the solidarity of this club. James Hird, I'll build a statue for him one day. He's been unwavering in declaring his innocence. He's an icon, an Essendon immortal. An amazing history as a player, 253 games, a captain, 2-time premiership player, Brownlow, Norm Smith. No other player in the AFL, VFL history has Hurd's set of achievements in becoming a one-club icon, and this could be a whole new era under James Hird. Let's go down to him now. Hirdy, how do you feel?
Yeah, good, Dwayne. It's good to get the win and be 4-0. I think the style of footy we played wasn't ideal, but yeah, to be 4-0 is fantastic.
How do you take the emotion out of it and keep yourself and your players focused?
I think for the players, they just want to play footy, and for me, I just want to coach footy, and there's a lot going on around us, but we're playing the style of footy we'd like to play the majority of the time and training very hard, and I think that keeps us pretty grounded.
James, the players take care of themselves once they go out on the ground, but when you can actually motivate them and you see that reflected in tackles, you see that especially in contested possessions, you really took it to the Saints tonight. Your contested possession was way up there.
Yeah, look, the contested possessions was up. I think our tackles were probably down from what we would have liked, but in terms of around the contest, I thought we were very good, and that's where we won the game.
Hirdy, how's Michael Hurley? We saw him go off with an ankle. We can see him there on crutches coming over. Do you know how bad it is? Is he any chance of getting up Thursday? I know it's very short time.
Rue, I don't think so. I think he's got a lateral ligament injury, which will be 2 or 3 weeks, and which is unfortunate because he was playing really well today and probably his best game for the year. But 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll get him back as soon as we can.
Hirdy, have you ever witnessed or felt such a tight-knit group? From here, it looks like when they kick a goal, when anything happens, they're straight over each other. They really look like you're a very, very tight unit on and off the field at the moment.
Yeah, Rue, it's fantastic to be part of a group that care for each other so much, and that's from the president to the board, to the administrative staff, the coaching staff and the players. It's a tight-knit group. We've obviously got our challenges, but in terms of what we're doing out here on the field, it's pretty special.
James, you've been rock solid. We appreciate your time, and on behalf of every Essendon fan, they appreciate what you've done. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Dwayne.
Well done,
James
Eddie.
Hird, the one and only. It was all about James Hird during the week. Had to give some evidence. It was also about Brendon Goddard during the week. He had to play against his old team as a former icon and life member of St Kilda. It was a big afternoon for Brendon Goddard. He's downstairs with Cameron Mooney.
Must be really well just to get this one out of the way, mate.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I've been playing on my mind for a while, obviously, and mate, I started cramping in the third quarter there, and I think just mentally it just played a toll on me to build up to the game, and it's obviously I'm pretty emotional right now, mate.
Mate, it's tough coming up against your old side, mate. You've been having 10 years. Mate, it's tough coming up against your old side, I know that, mate.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird feeling, mate, a unique situation, and I'm emotional. I don't know why. It's obviously, I love the footy club, and they meant so much to me and the boys.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them lose, and it's pretty tough.
Mate, just talk about the Bombers though, mate. I mean, you guys are just playing some great footy. You must be just wrapped the way this team is playing with right now.
Yeah, look, we obviously started well, and they're putting in great effort, and obviously everyone knows about what's been happening in the last 3 or 4 months, and it makes it that much more better, and makes it the boys how much effort they're putting in, and they're showing a lot of mental toughness, just the way we're going about it, and trying to block out everything that we can't control and just focus on our footy, and I think that's evident in the way we're going about it.
BJ, mate, you had a great game tonight. You've had a sensational start to the year, mate, and don't about the tears, mate. We've all done that, champ.
Well, those pictures tell a million words. What about the character of that man?
Wow.
Love for his old club, but still gave his heart out for his new club. It doesn't get any better than that. Hats off to you, Brendon Goddard. And take a bow, Essendon. 4 wins, no losses after 4 rounds, a 37-point margin.